and welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, the Argent Flame. Lynn and Lance will no longer be joining the campaign, but that's okay. I have the distinct pleasure of being able to play with and have at my table.
I'm Adam. I play Zemdak, the gnomish artificer. Remember, everyone, I'm Boots.
I'm Theo. I play Sofka, the half-elf druid. And Sofka doesn't know nature, but she knows these streets.
I'm Kevin. I play Cole Vodison, the human bard. And it is through the power of my mental projection that I am joining you tonight.
And I'm Kenton. I play Argus Firebeard, our dwarf cleric of the light. And if you mess with a bone, it might knock you prone.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Well, we're from Sure Stream now.
I am Noelle. I play Trishani Unkmoots, the Canridden wizard. And, I just love a good game of Owl Telephone. I don't know about you guys.
I'm Cody, and I play log jamming. There are some people who will say that an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. They don't know shit. All right, this thing's fucking awesome.
Right, because you gore your eye out. Totally forgot about that, honestly. Awesome, great. Well, again, welcome back to CrestVahllen DD. We have a couple of announcements. Yes.
Missing an eye, missing a hand, kind of.
It's not
Yeah.
missing.
Messed
Yeah,
up.
eyes.
Messed up
Yeah,
eyes.
you should change your the group name to the amputees.
Oh.
You can
always replace it with
All right, I
bad
take that back. I
history.
take that back.
Bad
Don't at me.
history.
Don't at me. Okay, so here we go. A couple of announcements. We have some big things in the works, so please stay tuned on our channel and on our social media. We have an Instagram at CrestVahllen. We have a Twitter at CrestVahllen. We are working on getting a Facebook up and running, probably the same name, you guessed it, at CrestVahllen, because it's a word I made up, and it's probably available. The other thing, through the grace of technology, Kevin wasn't able to join us in person today, but again, through the grace of technology, he is able to join us virtually. So hopefully it's not too messed up as far as sound, but we'll make do, and it looks pretty good from what we were able to figure out. Other things, like I said, we have some big things coming up. Some new series, perhaps. We're going to continue doing things like The Burnt Ends, which are our post session talks, kind of like how Critical Role does Talks Machina. It's a little fun. We'll do that. We'll also be doing another one for the Baker's Dozen, same thing, post session talks. We're still working on coming up with a name with that, but we have some pretty cool ideas. Gluten Talk. Gluten Talk is pretty good. It's really gonna be hard to top that one.
Shout out to Cam.
Shout out to Cam. Shout out the camera. Great. For those of you that haven't, please join the Discord. There's a lot of cool stuff there, limited to including but not limited to maps, pieces of lore, character art, a place where you can actually submit your fan art. There's cataloged and put pictures of all the magic items y'all have right now for both campaigns. There's a spot for you to chat with other Cresties or or I don't know,
Cresties.
That sounds a little
We'll work on a name.
we're gonna workshop it.
Elysium.
Cresty Legions.
No, Chris. No.
We're falling apart already.
Getting worse, guys.
Good day.
Great day. Great day. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so yes, and we have our battle cam up and running, so you'll be able to see it. We're still working on doing that. We could possibly, maybe in a couple months in the future, be adding more cameras. We are working on it, guys. Our production value is steadily growing. Stay with us. It really helps. Do that like and subscribe stuff. It really helps. What else? Did I miss anything?
Don't think so.
Don't think so. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Without further ado, You guys want to get into it? You want
Go.
to play some D&D?
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Heck yeah.
Hells to the yeah. Okay, cool. Let's set up my recap here. Let's do a little recap. I believe we left off at the. Does anybody have the date at which we left off?
15th, I think.
The 15th.
Yeah,
Yep.
we ended on the 15th.
Right, because it was the day you got to the crossroads. The day after the day.
Rapport drinking contest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where we ended on.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. All right, cool. So let's do a little recap. As the Argent Flame approaches the paleontological dig, Cole uses his status as a member of the Bardic College to help the group farm information from Bagra Swishstone about the dig's finds. Discussions lead to the assumptions that the massive fossil could be that of a dragon, whereas the unidentified humanoid remains appear to be an entirely new species/race, one of which had mounted the dragon as though riding it. Evidence points to the new species hunting the Mind Flayer present in the fossils as well. Origins of the Razorfang Mountains remain shrouded in mystery as Log's illusion disguises make the diggers uneasy. Connections are made between the locations of discoveries of several possible dragon remains as they stretch along the areas of the mountain range. Examining the odd kriss in the hand of the new species, Trisheni determines that the material is the same as the well-walled gates. Bagra collects a sample of the supposed dragon bone fossil with an adamantine dog bone and does a cursory experiment with it, causing it to badly burn her. Before the band heal her, she does retrieve a second sample before conducting interviews with each of the members of the party about their relevant experiences. The others take some time to work on their personal projects, including adding Sylvia to the gang. While Trisheni finds coded layers of information in the host's notes, referencing a hidden conclave. Argus examines the... Is it conclave or enclave? Conclave? Okay. Argus examines the doll that Granny Lonely gave him, finding soul residue within. As the party bed down to rest, Jakar eavesdrops on Bagra's communication with Lady Masha within her tent, witnessing her about to name the name of the members of the party. A chain reaction of awakenings and disruptions follow Shakar's perception of the possible threat of names being shared. Kicks, jostles, daylight, tiger roars, and horror screams fill the space as the party races to stop the unknown threat. Tents and books are burned while journals are torn by claws and then devoured by monstrous, sentient tomes. Us archaeologists and paleontologists are knocked unconscious as Boots is flung like a throwing star, skipping across the terrain towards Bagra's tent, snuggling into Trisheni's ankles. As the bedlam settles, the Argent Flame interrogates Bagra, learning about her connection to Lady Masha Ehrenbach. Promises are made to keep names secret as Cole reaches into the bag of holding to retrieve/return Bagra's sending stone. Cole's impulses get the better of him as he chooses to pull out the chest containing the sentient idol instead. A struggle follows as eldritch tentacles, Safka, and the fanged tome vie for possession of the chest and its contents. Time slows as the monstrous tome devours the chest, shooting out a blackened tendril that pierces Log's shoulder and enters his ear, causing him to be suspended in midair, arms outstretched. Log elongates his claws and gouges his own left eye, devouring it in a moment later. Willow takes a moment to discuss something with Bagra before the party set down again to rest for the evening. Waking up before Log, most of the band observe a small, bright moon above where Log is still resting. Zemdek tills the moon dust and harvests some, depositing it into the bag of holding, before Log awakes and the moon fades. Trisheni deciphers the text on the odd kriss as it reads, "Threat comes from beyond." Moving on before the historians awake, the gang travel northward on the Triway uneventfully, eventually arriving at a junction outpost. The group is lightly interrogated, and Crystal Brand Lieutenant Deragan. What was it again?
The Reagan.
Deragan. The
Yeah.
president. Inspects Deragan inspects Conk to test the spent Terrazin's threat level before allowing the party to access to the junction interior. Within, Argus reconnects with Grogrug, an old family friend, sent down the way with an entourage to help retrieve the adamantine wormstone, while camaraderie ensues. A traveling Vardo of performers is spotted, while the dwarf and half-orc reminisce on the good time, challenging the dude-like family friend to a drinking contest. Bar coasters and gold nuggets are anteed. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to Crest CrestVahllen. All right. Cool. And that's where we are now. So, before you, I guess kneeling over a table at this point, right? Like almost like when you have your elbow up on a table, ready to do some arm wrestling. He's like moving his knuckles around, cracking them, ready to like drink. What cracking knuckles has to do with drinking is beyond me, but that's what he's doing. And you guys had poured out, I
Mentally
believe,
psyching himself up.
mentally psyching himself.
I gave him a mug of the Gutbuster.
Of the Gutbuster. Are both is the other mug going to be filled with Gutbuster
No.
as well?
I had taken out some of like the cheap stuff that I got from behind the bar.
Okay, so he sees this. So but here's the question: are you intending to like sleight of hand to make it because he wants?
No,
Okay.
I told him it was a special drink.
Oh, and you
Didn't
were
I?
drinking something else?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a drinking contest. You were just
Yeah.
You bet. That
I
he
bet
could
him that
finish
he
I
couldn't
understand.
finish the
Right,
mug.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
he
I
just
apologize.
challenged
I just
him
don't want him to drink
drink
alone,
it, see if
so
he
I'm
can
going to
drink
drink with him.
Okay.
Just not
cool.
that.
But he knows that Cole actually did it.
Yeah, we also
Yeah.
said that Cole finished it.
That was a taunt that I did there after I kind of gave up on trying to convince Boots not to do this with him.
Great. Cool. Great. Awesome. So, yes. You guys fill his cup. How much do you give him?
Fill it all the way up.
You fill it all the way up, so you fill like his whole tankard up with Gutbuster? Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. So how much money did
That's what you had to
get
drink?
Put down? You put the gold
I
nugget.
put
down.
a 10 gold.
Yep.
Yeah, so
nugget
it's
down.
like the size of your thumb, because that's like it's solid gold nugget, so it's about yay big, about the size of a coin except spherical, so it's got worth that like.
He's a half orc. He's fine.
Oh man, that's kind of racist. I'm not gonna lie. That's my voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but yeah, but you're right.
I mean, when it comes to drinking, you're not a dwarf, but you're not far off.
From the gnome.
You're next. All right. So I just drink it, right?
Chug it.
All right. He starts to he just grabs it, and as he would like actual like watered down ale, he starts. Which is not how you drink the Gutbuster. So we're gonna roll some con saves for this guy. He does have a decent con bonus because he's a hardy fellow. You see, he starts. Sorry, just wrong pipe. I'm ready. I'll be ready to go. Just give me 1 second. Oh, it's smooth. You drink yours?
Yep.
What do you have? You just have like well drink?
Yeah, the cheap.
Is it like vodka?
I don't
or
know.
Whiskey?
What did I get from
Well, you got wine, vodka, and whiskey.
Well, you also got
Right.
the
whiskey.
rock at some point.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rock gut
Like
is just
the-
like watered down, shitty grog.
Right. That's what I pulled out.
Okay, you're fine then, because that's just actually roll con save because it tastes so fucking bad. But it's not hard.
11.
I'm gonna look at him though and go,
You're okay.
tastes like mother's milk, doesn't it? Sweet as
Ew. Ew. No. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. If you're like, it tastes gnarly, but it'll get you there.
Mother's milk tastes like.
Stop it. Stop. Cringy. All right, so
There's a reason he ran away.
God, now I can think about mother's milk, you fucker. So great. So he's drinking. He's gonna try to go again. He takes a minute. He coughs and tries to get his airway. He's like, and then he goes to go again.
There's a reason I put 10 gold on the table.
He does get the first sip before he's like, he puts it down. He's like, really smooth. He's doing his best to be like, you see his eyes tearing up. He's like, I'm fine. He's really trying to put off the air of like, this is no problem, this is no problem. But it's like when you eat something hot and you're really trying to be super toxic masculinity testosterone about it, and, like, and your face is starting to get red, but your brain is saying milk, 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 milk.
Sweating.
Like, yeah,
Right.
and he's sweating. You can see like there's like a little boogie that starts coming down his nose because everything becomes viscous. All his liquids are becoming viscous.
Vertigo starts to set in.
Yeah. Vertigo. Sure. Great. So
At least you can't fall up in the sky.
you can't fall up in the sky. Right. Because you fall up to the sky. Cool. So are you guys doing anything while this is happening? Or are you just watching him?
I mean,
like,
I'm cheering on.
You're cheering
Yeah.
on? What are you doing to cheer on?
Well, I was joining Argus with
Check.
chug it,
So,
chug it, chug
everyone-
it, chug it.
all right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to egg him on so he keeps drinking too.
Great. So he drinks again. He's very susceptible to peer pressure.
Oh, no.
He's like he never got out of his frat college like dude days. So he's still that.
I sense that about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those people that didn't have the experience, and so they're trying to still relive it all the
Like,
time.
yeah. Or they did have it and they peaked then, so they're trying to continue
Keep it
to
alive.
relive it.
Right.
Right. I say he rolled really well, so he doesn't put his mug down. He just continues on to the next sip. He's about halfway through it now. That's a natural one. Oh. So he
I pulled out a bucket, remember.
right. He takes a sip like a champ.
You okay there?
Yep. And he just projectile vomit just straight at you. Please roll dexterity saving throw.
I ain't gone out of the splash zone last session.
you specifically stated that. Too.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
A 13. Okay.
Oh no.
I okay. You get mostly out of the way.
Okay.
However, none of like the actual liquid hits you, but it's a little bit vapored too, and the spray it mists a little bit.
Okay.
So some of that mist does get on your thing. So unfortunately, like your whole arm on this area does smell like gutbuster wretched vomit.
That's okay.
It smells like it, but it's
I
not
can't
like
smell it.
stained
It
or
doesn't
anything.
matter.
Yeah, you can't smell. So to everybody else, you smell like you need a fucking bath, but you're fine. So if nobody tells you, you'll never know.
I mean,
Fantastic.
he did just throw up on me.
He did. So he
Yeah.
throws up, and he's like, oh, that thing is like straight up poison. I mean, I've been poisoned before, but holy. I can go again. I can go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh! I didn't have beans. What the fuck? Oh.
I'll pull out my auto injector, give him a little protection from poison
Okay, cool. So he'll like
to
got it.
help him
You got it.
recover a bit better.
Great, cool. With that, he'll get like advantage on his concept natural 20. That really helped him out. So he's still not feeling great, but he's no longer throwing up and vomiting. He's a little dizzy, but give him like a short rest and he should be okay. But you guys won, I guess, right? So it's like,
I told you I made some fun friends.
you ain't kid, man. That was wild. Oh. Yo, where the fuck? Are you sure that wasn't just straight up like venom?
No, it's a-
Poison?
Drinking contest from
If
Carradine.
it tasted like poison, it's what it was supposed to be.
All right. Drinking cut from Carradine. Those are some fucking crazy fuckers over at Carradine.
Drugan Knockback
They're a lot of fun.
apparently finished his mug.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well,
should
I mean, that makes sense. He's a fucking famous dwarf.
Yeah, he was on their record list.
Wait, so you're telling me this twink
Yes,
won the contest?
he did.
And this guy couldn't.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, see, now you weren't there. We were like, so
I was.
I'm not sure if I believe it. You were.
I did see his name on the wall.
I'm gonna roll an insight check.
I did see your name.
Yeah, right now it's
Yeah.
quarantined. You can't go check. It's like, all right, all right. I'm not saying it's outside of the realm of possibility, but
First human to ever finish his mug.
yeah. You want to go? You want to try again? You want to
I don't.
or nothing?
I don't think twice in the same day is a good idea.
Or you.
He lost
I want to
his.
see him do it.
He lost his taste for like 3 days. Like it burned his tongue numb
Oh,
for days.
Shit, I was wondering. Yeah, everything tastes like pennies. Well, I lost fair and square. Looks like I drank off more than I could chew. Wait,
Pour him a little bit of the grog.
yeah. What was
Wash
the,
your mouth
What
out.
were the the solid bits in it? What was that?
I have no idea how it's made.
Whoa.
What's the secret?
It's
What
like-
they told me is don't chew the solid bits.
that just raises a bunch of questions. A lot of even more concerns. Like, but who am I to argue with somebody who makes poison or drinking? Anyway, take your stupid coaster.
Like at a poker table, I just like.
Yeah, you slide the 2 items on the table.
Well, it does take his whole arms to get it
It does.
Perfect. Cool. If you want to, you can take the time to ritually identify this stuff if you'd like, because this is a magical coaster for sure. You could tell by look. This is the thing that Aolin had that she like threatened to use on people that were like, stop fucking fighting in my door.
I also traded the Dockmaster for her replacement stove.
Yes.
With one of those.
Yes. Yes.
So I won't do it now, but later on,
Sure.
when we bed down, I'll
Absolutely.
figure out specifically what it is.
Get that ready for you.
This was only like midday, right?
Yeah, I think it was afternoon-ish.
Yeah, it's like this is like I believe it's the
I
afternoon.
remember asking that question. It was late in the day.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're talking like late afternoon, because like you're pretty much spending. If you guys want to, you can bed down here and like rest in a
It would
place
be a
that's like
safer
walled.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else are you guys doing? Because there's stuff here. There's people going about. That whole thing.
So I think we might have skipped over it, or the night before I was trying to get paper from Bagra to copy her notes, but then all the
Right.
fetish stuff happened.
Right. So
Stuff
it is
happened.
in your book. All of her notes are in your book.
But I was trying to get paper to copy her notes to send back to
She
her.
said most of it was burnt though.
Right, but she had a lockbox under her cot that she kept.
His
spare.
book.
Remember,
ate
remember
her-
she actually said that she
Yeah.
makes like 3 copies of every
But she didn't
single
have
note
she didn't have
made.
that day's record.
No, not those days records. That's
Yeah.
correct, because she was in the process of doing them when she was interrupted. That's correct.
Right. So that's so did I assume I didn't then get that paper from her that night, or did I?
No, because you left before she woke up. But you could possibly see if you could find some parchment around here. I think you guys actually got quite a bit of parchment, but I assume you wanted to save that for spellcraft.
Right. So yeah. So the paper I get wouldn't need to be magical. It would just need to be
Regular paper.
just regular.
Yeah,
paper.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there. You can go ahead and roll an investigation check or a perception check. Either one.
Better, probably another one.
I'll help you because I always want a good piece of paper.
Yeah. Investigation is better. Cool. Okay, so 21.
21. Yeah, there are a couple, like I said, there are a couple like vendors and stalls set up here specifically for people that are traveling. Like they sell goods like explorers backpacks and spelunkers kits and stuff like that. Provisions, dried meats, dried vegetables and mushrooms, rope, some of like basically given an amalgamation of all these vendors together, you have like a general goods store at your disposal. So you could absolutely there looks to be one that's a little bit there's a gnome that specifically has a couple of like broken tinkering contraptions that are hanging from hooks that he's like being like, I'll sell this to you broken and I guess you can fix it. Like some of the like little skittering spider trinkets and steam powered steampunk thingies. And he appears to have a couple of blueprints that are out on his vendor's table that he appears to be like sketching on. And you see, if he has that much paper, he probably has stacks and stacks of paper somewhere. That's what you see.
So, go try and get some paper.
Okay, cool. You walk over to him and be like, oh, like, hello.
What do you look like right now?
Yeah, who do you look like?
Probably still Rain Wilson at this point.
Ryan Wilson. You.
Rain Wilson.
Rain Wilson. So hard to keep your things straight.
Does that on purpose.
Of course it does. Great. So you walk up to this guy. Oh, here it is. You walk up to this guy. He's like, "Hello." It's a little older for a gnome. Appears to these are actually, do me a favor, roll a tinker's check. You guys are just doing your own thing, right? You're not. He's doing it his own thing.
I was with
You're
him. to
going with
help.
him?
Well, I
Is this
helped him
after
find-
the drinking contest?
Yes.
Then I would also be out looking for stuff to buy.
Okay, cool.
And if
What
he's
is it
going
you-
over to the other artificer, I'm going.
You going with him? Okay, cool. You can roll a history check at advantage. You two guys can roll a history check as well.
Double 12s for 17.
Yeah, nat 20 for 28.
Seven. Okay. This is just an older gnome, just doing his thing. Both of you know that, like, oh, he's a tinker. He's a tinker just like you. But you also know that he's a traveling tinker, which means something a little different. There's a bit of a cultural thing as far as traveling tinkers. Like, it's really
It's
like
what I am now.
it's what you are now, which is, and it's really interesting.
Planless
They
thing.
usually travel with like mules overstacked with stuff, right?
Yep.
And like there's like this whole thing of the culture thing of like you don't ever be rude to them because it's really bad luck to be rude to them. And they're usually just respected because they've got almost all the time what it is that you're looking for, or something adjacent that maybe you didn't think you knew you wanted, but they probably have it. Be like, how could I interest you in a cloak with a lot of fucking pockets, or could I interest you in like a rapier that has a hidden compartment that makes it look like an umbrella? Like they've got stupid stuff that doesn't really have too much of a mechanical use other than being nifty. But sometimes they do have other things, and they make their living by traveling and trading. That's what they do, and not like a specific item or enterprise either. It's not like, oh, I go here, I buy crystals from here, and then at a deficit, or I buy crystals here cheap, and then I travel like 100 miles to this town and I sell them for 3 times as much, and I just keep doing it. It's not like that. They just travel, and whatever travelers they see along the way, they grab them. And there's traveling tinkers, no specific name for them. It's just kind of like a cultural thing. And yeah, Zemdek, you realized as you like this, you see another person, you realize, oh shit, I've become a traveling tinker.
Yeah.
I don't have like mules that I stack with bags, but I have my bag of holding. So essentially, I am a traveling
Conk.
tinker.
Yeah.
And you have conch. So yeah, you essentially have become a traveling tinker. So you like get that shit. It actually is bad luck to be rude to me.
None of us here have done that. I mean,
I'm still alive, and everybody we fought isn't. So.
Yeah, a lot of traveling tinkers don't have things like bags of holding. Sometimes they have little tiny things. Sometimes things are magically enhanced, like lodestones, which are like magnetic stones and stuff like stupid things, tiny things. Every once in a while, you might find a tinker that's like, oh, I'd be willing to part with this for whatever's in that whole bag. I don't know what it is, but I want that whole bag, and I'll pay you this for it. Like, they're very, very like ephemeral, esoteric, and ambiguous creatures, or it's the way they are. They're just kind of like, they're kind of hermits, but they travel and they're like happy to like do deep business. And so I spent too much time explaining that, but he's there. He's like, hello,
Greetings,
ugly
master.
traveler. How can I?
you're not wrong.
He's attractive. What are you talking about?
Oh wait,
Greetings.
You're right.
master.
That was rude
Yeah,
of me.
yeah.
Hello, traveler.
thank you.
I won't say pretty.
Do you have paper?
Yes. Yeah. Are you looking for brown paper, blue paper, red paper, green paper, yellow paper, chartreuse paper, puce paper? Oh, I even have magenta.
What's magenta?
This color, and I point to the colored, highlights that I have in my hair.
Oh, is that like more magical? Or...
Folded paper, torn paper, printed paper, pressed.
No.
Just colors.
It's just pretty.
Oh. What I am
Yes.
Exactly.
He starts singing a little song to folded paper, torn paper, pressed paper, patched paper. He just kind of goes off on his little tangents.
But, sorry to interrupt your song, but do you have magical paper? Or something that's...
Magical paper.
Well, paper.
I have
that's
this
for
one
spellcrafting.
folded piece of paper that flies around. It's a little origami thing.
Well, that's nifty.
It doesn't do anything other than that.
That's a lot of fun. But well, I guess we were looking. He was looking for some paper that's more for spellcrafting, right?
Oh, you mean like high
Right.
quality parchment for the arcane arts?
Well, that and also the cheap shit. I need both.
The cheap shit.
Well,
Both, yeah.
Torn paper. Scraps? You okay with like torn edges?
The torn edges are fine. I mean, as long as I can, if someone can write on it, then yeah.
I understand. So like 8.5 by 11, thin,
Yeah.
unbleached, okay?
There's this much type of paper.
yeah, it's I'm surprised.
Paper's big business, especially for
Paper is
Yeah.
big business.
the scholar.
Right.
It's like, we've come a long way since carving stuff onto stone tablets.
We've done that too.
I mean, kingdoms run on paper.
Yeah.
You've done that?
Well, not me specifically, but she's carved stuff on slates.
Cool. That's awesome. Tell me another one.
I'm like drifting off into my memories of the paper shop back in Solis
Yeah.
that I spent like hours at before, just
Right.
Another one.
What would you like? What else can I get you? So what paper would you like? If you say just paper one more time.
He needs a handful of sheets for just copying something down, something cheap and
You
easy.
got so like scrapbook, notebook.
Correct.
Is it okay if it's not lined?
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Great, cool. It's a little thin. Some of it you can see through it, but I could probably give you a stack of. Oh, baby, let me take it. I need like. Take a look. What's going on here? That's that is skin.
I heard that can work.
Oh, there we go.
Kind of
I got
puts
about a
that
stack
extra
of.
nice.
I wonder if your book would like that.
Yeah,
I mean, my book. It's a lot of things.
it might be like an extra tasty
Did
treat
you-
to it.
I'm
Like
sorry, I didn't mean to overhear. Your
vellum?
book likes things.
Like vellum,
Yeah.
like
I have a few sheets of. Well, I'd say hides of vellum.
you said it was skin, right?
No, like. I actually don't know what creature it's from. I didn't ask questions.
That actually might be interesting.
I didn't ask any questions. It was, you know me.
When
I
you're
like
trading
said,
in skin, you usually
I want
don't.
that
Yeah.
bag for this bag, and again, that was in the bag. I
It was
didn't
in the
ask
bag.
any questions. What was that?
When you're trading
Bags
in
of
skin,
skin.
you usually don't ask questions.
Interesting.
That's a fair point.
We're not talking about flesh sacks again.
I do have a flesh sack. You need a flesh sack.
I think we're good.
Again, couldn't tell you what creature the flesh could belong to. Honestly, it could have been my cousin I lost like 50 years ago, but I try not to think about that too much.
So, just some plain paper,
Plain paper.
and then anything
Swear to God, if
interesting.
you say plain paper one more time, you have
Anything
any idea how much
interesting.
paper I have.
Anything interesting you have,
Mhm.
Elder.
Anything interesting. Everything I have is interesting. I mean, look at this shit. Like I've got this steampunk spider, or I shouldn't say steampunk because I don't know what that is. But I've got this little clockwork spider that is super broken. I haven't been able to fix it, but if you can fix it, I'll sell it to you on the cheap.
I can probably fix it.
I've also got this little gavel that turns into a dagger. It's like a gavel that the hammer splits. It goes like, "Oop," and then the hammer like opens up on one side and becomes the handle, and then there's a dagger hidden beneath.
If we continue our days as being lawyers, this might be very interesting, right? Like, no, stop.
Well, I don't recommend you bring this into a court of law.
Nobody knows.
Probably not a good idea. I mean,
It would be a
far
good
be
way
it
to
for me
get
to
it
judge.
into a court of law if it looks like a gap.
I can make one of these.
Well, then fuck you. You don't need it. Puts it back.
You do not remember my holy symbol
No,
before?
no,
You
I
can make
do.
one of these. I got one ready.
I just hadn't thought about that.
Bird in the hand, bitch. Is that
Sorry.
supposed to intimidate me? You have any idea how many times I've been threatened? You know how bad luck it is
Wait.
to threaten me?
Who said it was threatening?
All right.
He does this everywhere he goes.
It's,
Oh,
it's
let's
his
just-
religion.
I
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yep.
I understand.
Confrontational by nature.
Oh hell!
He's a dwarf.
A lot of those too.
Here we go. More race.
I didn't say anything about dwarves. Oh, this fucker.
So
Hey, you called me ugly.
Yeah, well,
All right. So with the stack of paper.
I cannot tell a lie.
So the stack of paper that we discussed before, the maybe a couple skins of paper. Do you think it could be kind of
Why is
funny?
your voice getting so high?
Because I don't know what he wants to do.
I mean, I think we should try the skin.
All right. And do you have any?
I'm sorry. There's no trying. You either buy it or there's no like trial paper.
No.
We
What
buy
do you-
it.
what-
we
We'll
try
buy it. We'll try it.
That
on-
raises another question. How would you try the skin?
Well, I myself, I'm not going to try it. My book is going to try it.
Which raises more questions.
Right.
What
What do you
kind
want?
of skin is this thing?
We don't know. He doesn't know. It's from some animal.
Your
We
paper about-
we just think it could have interesting effects.
What? What is? Could I? You
The
know,
regular paper and the vellum.
you got. Could I also interest you in a bracelet that always goes back to its owner?
No, because we would just go back to you.
Well, shit. Gotta be honest. How many times I've scammed people? with
Can you change the ownership of it?
Right.
I've never tried. How about a scale that's 1 pound off, but it's really hard to tell. Can't fix it.
I think we're good.
I mean, if we're trading
Which
gold
way-
for
which way?
goods.
Wait a minute.
In your favor. Well, you just spin it. It could be on your favor or not. It's a fucking scale. Like, do you not know how scales work? They're by the.
Me.
Listen, you little smart aleck. They're binary. It's the one slide you can spin it. It's anyway.
I think we're good.
Me.
Well, I'm not gonna try to stop telling you stuff.
No, please don't.
How about a set of bone dice?
Is there anything special about them?
They've got runes carved into them. Don't know if they do anything. I rolled them a couple times. Nothing happened.
Can we identify the runes?
Right. Are there any things that you?
Well, you want to take a look?
Sure.
What languages do you speak?
Primordial, Dwarvish, Gnomish, Common.
Common, Kenran, and Celestial.
Sofka, are you here?
Sure. I'm just kind of hiding.
Behind everybody, just like watching this. Common Celestial.
Common, Kenran, and Celestial.
You got it.
A common, goblin, and abyssal.
Okay.
He covers mine. Dwarven, gnomish,
What
common.
about you, Theo?
Common, druidic, elvish, and giant.
None of you understand these runes.
Common, dwarvish, giant? Yeah.
Nope. None of you understand these runes.
Our draconic boy is gone.
I'm really interested in taking 10 minutes to like talk to Lammy
What else do you have?
while you guys peruse. I'll go do that.
Oh, I got a huge granuda.
The
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got like a hole that blew out one side. It's no longer filled with any of the black powder, but it makes for a really cool looking like centerpiece or teacup. But it's got like a hole in it. Sure, if you probably put some scrap metal on it, you can put some black powder back in it, you probably get a new granuda out of it.
do you have any powder?
Roll a persuasion check. Because he's not supposed to. Well, it is a controlled substance. It's like basically almost controlled as much as controlled as terrazine, except like the people that have money buy it, and then there's the law looks the other way. 8. Nope.
Do you have anything extra special that you could show us?
Roll a persuasion check.
19.
19. By special you mean not paper, right? Because I have lots
Yeah,
of special
no,
paper, but I feel
Just-
like we went
no,
over
just
that.
keyboards paper. And I was just enjoying the show. I could have joined in at any time to help. It was so much fun.
Well, I did do some really good trades in my favor not too long ago, and I was able to get my hands on a couple potions. Alright, you interested? Alright. Not the healing type, mind you. They do something else.
What do they do?
You know what they do.
Yeah.
I can take a guess.
So could I, but that doesn't mean it's going to mean anything.
You're really on that smart kind of kick, aren't you?
Just kind of who I am.
Yeah, I understand. Is that part of your religion too?
I don't know. Do you want to convert?
Tell me more. You got a pamphlet?
I do not have a pamphlet.
All right. Well, that's
Yeah,
to be
something you couldn't burn.
All right. Don't ever give Argus something he can burn, because it will be burnt. Well,
The great Goopy
one smells a lot like whiskey, and even smelling it makes your throat burn.
So probably like fire breath.
Another one.
Well, Donald had one. I forgot it.
I popped it open a while ago. I left it bid to the sea, but I imagine that's what it smells like. And you got really high on that persuasion. I got one more. Whenever I hold it, I feel like the shadows are just that much farther away.
That one could be useful.
Anti-necrotic.
Like sunlight or daylight or something light.
Probably similar to the one that Villadonna had that was anti-necrotic.
Could be.
Yeah.
You know Melodonna?
Yeah.
This is where I got these.
Oh. That makes
Oh.
sense. When were you in Carradine?
I wasn't. I traded it from a guy that was there,
Okay.
and then I got.
Insight
I
check.
wasn't there.
Neither were we.
Insight check.
Okay. I mean, you don't even have to roll.
You know
He's
he's lying.
obviously saying that he's like,
So
I
we
totally
got-
was there,
nudge.
but he's
Yeah.
trying to be like, look, I got this shit into here by saying I was never there, so shh.
Sofka does.
There are a bunch of you absolutely know with your passive insight, you absolutely know. But and you guys know there are a bunch of other ways to move through ways that aren't just the tri-way. Like there are a bunch of side tunnels that interweave and connect, and like it's spiderweb maze like. And for those that know, it can cut off days, sometimes even weeks of travel.
Does he look like there's anything wrong with him? I know it's been a while and he probably would have turned anyway, but does he look like he might be sick?
Go ahead and I'm gonna say rolling. This is a very good question. Was which skill check this would be? Let's start off with this. Roll a perception check first, and we'll see how well that goes.
Okay.
Do any of you have any similar inklings as to trying to see if he looks
Yeah,
bad?
I'm gonna.
Okay, you can roll perception as well then.
So when you say don't have powder, do you have powder?
Roll another persuasion. What'd you get, Kevin?
17.
17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. From what you can tell, he doesn't look like he's wounded.
Noise.
Then again, he is like kind of wearing like drabby clothes and like 5 layers of different cloaks and stuff of just thrown because he trades everything, even the clothes on his back. He trades absolutely everything. So he is definitely wearing about 3 different sets of clothes that do not fit him properly, that he's like tied up with twine and like stitched together in order to make it fit. So there's like baggy stuff just kind of hanging off of him. There's a big rope that's tied to his back where he carries like he has one of his bags that he has that just stays there and does not move. It's probably some of the stuff he wants to keep as close to him as possible at all times. What'd you get?
16.
16. You ain't a junkie, are you?
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
It's a very valid point.
Very truthful on that.
Yeah, some green.
Right to green, yeah.
Actually, Log has been very truthful this entire time, other than his appearance. He's been very truthful with everybody.
Well, I haven't had to lie yet.
I got some green.
Right, yeah, so much.
Weird. You're new to traveling tinkers, aren't you? I don't take your gold. I want your stuff.
Oh,
You like to trade for bags of
Hell
unknown,
yeah.
yes?
Yeah, I like that little bag right there. It looks nice. That little shoulder bag you got going on.
This is.
No.
I'm new to our profession.
Oh no shit!
This is my donkey train. And I pull.
Ooh.
I pull up
Actually, go ahead, do it.
one of the bags of moon dust, one of the sacks. I pull it out and I'll set it on the table.
It's like glowing slightly, like a nice moon does from the reflective sunlight in the sky.
About a new.
He like puts on like 3 rows of spectacles down. He's like, can't say I've seen something like that before. What is it?
Trade you.
What is it?
It's a new ingredient I found.
Oh, you are. See now, you are part of this profession. I see you have potential, youngin. Oh, well, far be it from me to prevent a youngin from following such a noble profession. So that for the green, you got to give me just a little bit more. Like, what does it do? Something? I got to make sure that I'm not just being hoodwinked. That it's not just ash that you peed in.
Think
Why would
moonlight.
it glow?
Think
Another
moonlight.
question.
Moonlight. Ooh, okay. How long has it been glowing like that?
Since we got it.
Day and a half. Oh, it's only been
just a
a
day.
day.
There's a 20 insight, but yeah,
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
yeah. Like, but that's part of the shtick. So he's
That's where we got it. Since
yeah.
Right.
really gonna give up our moon dust?
All right. What else? Just
Oh no. You get the whole bag.
the whole bag.
For the green,
How much is in the whole bag?
it was a sack.
Right, but you had like because you had a pool of hit points with it, right? Pool of temporary hit points.
It was 40 hit points. So,
So
that's
you give
10
them
of
all.
them.
You're giving him 10 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it's just a small sack.
Okay.
Because the 40 hit points was like about as much as I could fit in this mug.
Okay.
So it's like a quarter of this, so it's a small leather like sack. But it's you open it and that's when you can see the glow. All right. Can you eat it? Do you supposed to eat it? Is it poison?
It's not.
Okay.
Let's say you would eat it before going into danger.
Do I eat it or just like put it on myself? Or,
Like
I just need to know. Look,
What it
is it gonna harm somebody that has it?
No. It's going to do the opposite. Harm.
Good enough for me. Great. Good enough for me. All right. So
For the green and
this
the
will
paper.
harm you. And he pulls out the green. He's like, this will harm you for sure.
I experienced that, yes.
I thought you said you were a junkie.
I said not yet.
Mm.
The green and the paper for the bag.
That's a hard bargain. You got to sweeten the deal just a little bit more for me.
Where else can you get something like this?
I'll pull out the purple worm thing.
Oh, what's that now?
You've seen it. Those big fucking worms down here.
Yeah?
This came from them.
No shit. Really? Hell! Now that's a collector's item.
That's why I fucking took it.
You got yourself a deal. I could get you 40 pages of regular paper and some green for that and your little moon, whatever that is.
And skins.
You want the skins?
I mean, do you really want to carry him around?
Doesn't bother me none.
Who's gonna?
I walked back from the corner where I was arguing with Lanny this whole time. Okay, ready to read it.
She wants the dice.
Can I see the runes, the dice?
Yeah, sure. They're still on the table. You
Oh,
look down.
great.
It's draconic.
All right, what does it say?
One just
Is it
there
just
are
like the alphabet.
these
basically,
appear.
but-
So for do me a favor, roll an Arcana check while you're looking at these.
19.
19. So these are you've seen Kenton cast augury before. These
You can do augury
are
now.
Yeah. I do. I pray to my deity.
so these are like divination bone dice that are pretty much the draconic runes that are on these dice pretty much say like woe, wheel, and a couple of other things. And these are dice that have been used before to cast like the spell augury or do other divination ideas. You're unsure how using these dice while casting your spell will interact, but you see the synergy
Right.
there. And that's about as much as you can get from that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think, Argus, I think you could possibly use something like this if you wanted to.
They
but-
themselves don't appear to be inherently magical, but runes have a way of activating once a magic has been instilled upon them. Like
Right.
there's
Well, it's
weird
just
stuff.
like any sort of.
It's kind of like a
right,
spell
yeah.
component, but it's a little bit more than that because they've been used before to that, and like there's a little bit of circumstance
Yeah.
weighted into them.
Maybe if someone is planning on learning that spell, they may need a channel to actually use it.
Right.
It was on my list.
I can
Okay.
sense your words are heavy with innuendo, but none of my business. You wanted skins.
Besides, I think he likes his fire anyway for his augury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fire.
And if they're bone,
I wouldn't want to taint my
Yeah.
fire with.
Right. But perhaps for you, I mean, can I trade rather than an actual item, any sort of things that you haven't been able to decipher and you want to understand what they say? Can I trade you knowledge for helping to get that through?
That I have to say that is a tempting offer, but not knowing what it is half the fun.
I understand. I
It's
totally
really, it's
get
like
it,
I mean
yeah.
like I built my whole business model on not knowing what the fuck I'm carrying right next to my parts. So it's like really that's like knowing your future and like knowing when you would die. I wouldn't want to know
Well,
that.
it's not quite.
How
that
about-
bad.
How about an animated object?
I'm listening.
He talks, and can actually be useful.
He?
It.
It? What is it? What is he?
an asshole.
But he's a helpful asshole.
You think I'm best?
Like an actual physical asshole?
No,
Oh.
no.
Pull Nitpick out of the bag of holding
Okay.
and put him on the table.
He's very useful. Very, very useful.
Nitpick refuses to animate. He's just acting with a regular gnome. Okay. Like the Travelots, right? The Travelots, you know?
Can I try to tickle him? I'm just going to continue this theme. of tickling.
I suppose. Yeah. How do I make you roll for
I
a
don't
tickle
know.
check?
I don't know.
Sleight of hand,
Guys,
I think you're more
dexterity.
Get in the
nitpick.
comments. What should I roll for a tickle?
I would assume Nitpick needs to make like a con save more than like her
Yeah, that would make
making a roll.
sense.
Sleight
Yeah,
of hand,
or something
dexterity,
like
Yeah.
that.
like tickle him.
Or some sort of.
Yeah, but he's not moving, so he's like incapacitating himself, so he's gonna automatically fail these checks. So it's more of like because you're tickling a porcelain / stone gnome.
Right.
So
but
I'll
if
say,
he's-
you know what I'll say? Sleight of hand, because of the quickness of your fingers.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so now I have to roll to
Come on.
see if the gnome has nerves that are able to be tickled.
He's just being shy. See? Come on. Yeah, you know, you want to laugh. Come on, buddy.
Okay, everybody please roll a perception check for me. 'Cause now you guys are all intently looking at fucking what's his name?
Nitpick.
Nitpick. Yeah.
Sopka's still hiding behind everyone.
Right.
10.
10.
10.
30, 20. Oh,
28.
Oh.
9.
9.
3.
3. All y'all don't see it move at all. You just hear her like claws and nails like up against a little bit of stone. You got a 20? Not enough.
Okay.
I got a
You
28.
with the 28. See, like the smallest corner of his mouth begin to curl up just a little bit, like it's imperceptible. Well, yeah, it's imperceptible to everybody except you. You just
Cole's gonna go, oh, you little shit, you're going to be that way? He's going to cast Mage Hand and just kind of start tossing him up and down in the air.
Next time we'll let the thing eat you.
okay. You hear? Well, hey! Stop it!
Oh,
Put me down.
Cole puts him down.
Yeah, see? Too much of a coward. You won't touch me with your real hand. I'll bite you.
I don't know where you've been.
That's fair.
Companion and a lock opener.
You're right. He does sound like a little shit. He opens locks? I open more than
Sometimes.
locks, you old geezer.
Oh, he failed the last one.
He's pretty good at it. It doesn't always work, but he's pretty good.
You know, it's a little disturbing how much he sounds like me.
You could be two peas in a pod.
You're made for each
Traveling
other.
caravan.
You're both gnomes. I mean,
Someone to talk to on the road?
That's condescending. He's a guarded gnome. I'm a
Real
that's
gnome.
different. Honestly, the concept of guarded gnomes is really offensive. to
That would
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we didn't make him. He just kind of was given to us. Maybe you're where she got the inspiration from. Florida.
That's not nice.
That's just as condescending.
Not me being condescending. It's the person who made it.
That's not very nice, y'all. Sokka just like pokes her head out. That's not very nice. And then
Pokes right in there. Yeah, apologies.
Okay, he's not very nice.
Magical item for magical item?
All right, well, let's put him to the test. He pulls out what looks like a little lockbox. Looks all rusted and fucked up, but the lock is pristine. He's like, I haven't been able to open that thing since I got it. Go to work, little man.
A challenge, nitpick.
Come on, Nitpick, you little shit. Get it done. Throw an inspiration at Nitpick.
You inspired me.
Amazing.
Great. Technically, he's a sentient object, not a creature, but fuck it, this is great. So, here's the deal. Nitpick has quite the ego, so he's not gonna be like, "Well, man, I'll do it." Yeah, this no big deal. I can totally do this. No big at all. Yeah. What was your inspiration? D8.
Yep.
He has a +7 to lockpicking. That brings it to a 31. He and the block opens like, ooh. Kind of grabs the lockbox, opens it. What paper?
plain paper.
I mean, it's like rolled up and shit.
How about we look at that rolled up paper?
Yeah.
You want rolled up paper?
Oh,
I swear, if you ask me for one more type of paper,
What? I thought you liked the. I'm being specific.
fine.
You did a whole fucking song on paper.
No, it is rolled up piece of paper.
Oh, it's very nice.
Oh, very nice.
Do I see anything written on
It's
it?
like got like a seal around it and a thing that's holding it together.
Can I look down the end of the tube and see if
Roll
I
a
see
perception
writing?
check. He pulled just one of them out.
15.
Can I?
15. You're sure
Oh,
what?
sorry.
I was gonna say, can I take the? Do we recognize the seal, or can I take a look at the seal?
Actually, yes, you can. Go ahead and roll a perception check. And then depending on how you do with this perception check, I'll let you roll a history check.
11.
11. You do catch a little bit of this seal because it's not like he's trying to hide it from you.
Right.
So I'll say roll a history check at disadvantage.
Okay. Not that I'm great at that anyway. 5.
5.
Yeah,
You catch a little
I
bit of
literally
like,
rolled a 4 and a 5, so it was either going to be 5 or a 6.
yeah. So you catch a little bit of the corner of something, but not enough for you to make really a determination as to what this is from. You roll a perception check to look down the tube of it.
Yeah, 15.
15.
And
Okay.
I can read languages right now.
That's right. You have comprehend languages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me one moment to check my notes. Get so excited when it comes to paper. I'm just gonna make the big bad be a big piece of paper.
I'll feel sad
One of
at
you
the
is
same
like,
time.
no, the other one's like, yeah.
Or Log would just take his book out.
I would be
The
okay
big
with
man.
that because it's at least going towards a good cause. Like,
Right.
you know.
Is Log a good cause?
I mean,
What it is
So far.
before we let the book destroy it, just because
A gargantuan book mimic.
Roy
the final
is
boss.
a-
Oh God.
well, if it's a writ of travel does us no good inside of the book.
that's true.
Mm,
Unless you could rip pages out of the book.
you could.
I think theoretically.
I mean, if it works,
I don't
If
know
it-
how
if
the
it's
book
like-
would react.
Yeah.
right, it might try to bite
That's
you.
my reaction is you're
You
going
rolled
to
a
rip a
19
page
for
out of a
perception?
book that has a mouth that
15.
we have seen bite through a lead box.
Right.
Nitpick is like, what am I, shop liver? And you rolled a 15. You notice two things. You notice the dialect in which the scroll is written is one of like an old common. Kind of like a common that's been derived because of your comprehension language. You get a little bit more information on this, but do go ahead and roll me a history check as well, because you catch a couple things. And I'm going to be like I'm bombarding you with information here.
27.
27. Okay, so this is an old type of common that kind of has its roots in primordial, and from who knows how long ago. The seal that you've noticed is the seal of Hilsfarn.
Okay.
Specifically, the seal of Hilsfarn, an older seal of Hilsfarn. Granted, the seal of Hilsfarn has always been the black spire of the tower that is the center of Hilsfarn, a part of, and you are familiar with what it's called, the Midnight Athenian.
Mm-hmm.
This appears to be an older version that, from your examination of what this symbol looks like, appears to be that this scroll originated from the Midnight Athenian itself.
Okay.
Roll an Arcana check.
Net 1 for a total of 9.
You're going to have to unroll this scroll and take a look at it to find out what it is, if anything. However, you do get the sense from your history checks and this that this could has potential being a spell scroll.
I'm gonna try to act real like nonchalant.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
I mean, it's cool paper. It's all right. 16.
16. Okay. Yeah, and?
I mean, it's got a cool seal on it, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I crunch up the wax and use it for other things.
Oh, like candles, that kind of thing,
Yeah,
or
or just other seals. Sometimes repair stupid things. And sometimes I just like to play with hot wax.
I mean, it is kind of fun making
It
it
is
different
fun to
shapes.
play with hot.
Yeah. You worry me.
Where's all?
Brush your teeth.
Those are some of the least worrying things he said.
You know, so clearly you see the value in him. Do you want to trade him for that paper since you don't need it? The other paper that you
Why
got?
do you want
do
it so
then-
much?
Just curious. You know,
Paper.
I don't have a rolled up piece of paper like that.
Roll a persuasion check. He's helping you. Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Thank you. Okay. Da-da-da. 13.
13. Well, if we add another thing to the pot, you gotta do the same.
Okay.
Since you like playing with the wax, I have a candle here to replace the
Don't
wax. That
patronize me, little youngin.
How about I give you the ability to tinker better for an hour?
Say what?
I cast a spell that will help you tinker better for a full hour.
Are you demeaning my tinkering skills?
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm enhancing them.
It's like a cup of coffee. I've had coffee before.
I can't look at you in the eyes right now.
Like, have you had a cup of coffee before? It's like that. He's
Yeah,
cast that spell on me before.
No matter
That's
how
enough.
great you are,
Yeah.
it makes you better.
You gonna do some arcane witchery didgery to me?
Only with your permission.
I mean, like, okay, but like forever? It makes me better forever?
For an hour.
For an hour?
You can fix that
That's
spider.
not even long enough for a nap.
Why would you be tinkering for a nap?
Do you
Why is
sleep
the sky
tinker?
blue? Nobody fucking knows.
Do you sleep tinker?
What, sleep?
Sleep tinker, like
Oh,
sleepwalking, but you
sometimes,
know, like
yeah, sometimes.
okay, just
Yeah, it soothes me. Sometimes I start doing it and then I fall asleep and my fingers keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I haven't sleep tinker since I was like 4.
That's not what that's called.
Different, different sleep tinker.
Oh Jesus!
there's different types of tinkering.
Turn invisible
This is why Cole was just enjoying the show.
What have we done? Oh, God. No one's ever gonna watch our stream ever. Great. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh no, that's not fire.
Lots of fire. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Yeah. How good?
How what?
How good? Like, get a sponsorship good?
That's how much can you do in an hour? Let's just say if your finger slips, it wouldn't slip.
I mean, these old digits ain't what they used to be. Maybe. Maybe.
You see, he's like conflicted. Like, he wants to do this, but at the same time, the better nature of him as a traveling tinker is like,
We would never.
You're helping out a fellow
Right.
starting out.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. And far be it from me not to give it up to the youngest, but why do I get this feeling in the back of my head that I'm being taken advantage of? Do you think you can alleviate that feeling somehow?
I don't know that spell today.
that's a spell?
It helps.
Don't we look trustworthy?
No. You're adventurers. I don't trust adventurers as far as I can throw them. But I do make.
How about
find
a-
some
We
cool
can throw
stuff
him
off of
drinking.
them.
How about
Borax.
a bottle of wine to celebrate when you're done
I've
tinkering?
done it.
So that's what I'm talking about. See, something to soothe my conscience, like alcohol. That's what I'm talking about. So, well done. Well, I guess I'll take this very racist monument. He's like, unhand me, old man.
I guess we better give you
Bye,
nitpicker.
nitpick.
You'll make somebody else very happy because you annoy the shit out of me.
There's a reason I kept him in the bag.
Wait, like, does he talk all the time?
When he feels like it.
Open your mouth. Like, I ain't gonna. Shoves
Ball
up the
gag.
charcoal
I
in
was
his
saying
mouth.
ball gag
You know,
from the beginning.
An old wine cork just like bunk.
Yeah, he pops the wine cork off. He shoves it in his mouth. Like,
Hey, you like that, you little shit?
throws it in his bag.
It's literally saying ball gag from the beginning.
All right, take the wine.
Sorry.
I don't let deals till I'm sober.
He drinks half of the bottle of wine in one go.
Go like, hey, go. You wanted the spider thingy? No? All right, don't worry about it. Here you go. You wanted to scroll?
Yeah, you know that's
Here's
my
50
collection.
pages Regular paper.
That will do.
50 or 40?
50.
Okay.
50 years old.
Don't talk down the deal.
No. I just wanted to make sure.
You know what's funny? I'm just kidding.
I'll take the spider.
That spider? Yeah, spider's not gonna do anything.
He's fine.
What else is part of the deal? I don't remember.
and
The
all the
green
rest of
skin.
yeah.
Oh, you want the dice? You can have the dice.
Yeah, the dice,
The
the
arcane
green.
Skin.
You want skin?
the arcane
Yeah.
and just
The
like
vellum.
one of the.
Now wait a minute.
No, the skins.
The skin was already
The
included.
paper.
No,
They
I
were.
gave you the. Now wait a minute.
What
The
else
50
is in
sheets of
this?
paper was what we agreed to. The skin we did not agree upon. And then when it comes to live stuff that was been hunted before, I have. What? No.
He
No.
he
Shut
threw,
up.
He threw
Shut
the
up.
tooth. He threw the tooth in for the vellum.
Because it was regular
I
paper.
apologize. Stop telling me to shut up. That's fine.
Yeah, being disrespectful to it.
Yeah,
Another-
it's different. You know, kind of
Feeling.
cancels each other out.
Bartering. That's
Yeah,
different.
this is different.
Like your same level, you can't insult each other. Because it's,
yeah,
it's fine.
So
Same
it's
with,
how much
like-
vellum for my notes?
He gives you 3 pieces of all different types of vellums, like the three different skins of which you don't recognize. If you want to, you can make a nature check to see which of these you recognize.
I'll say that for later.
Please remind me, as well as the identify check and all that jazz. You get the scroll.
What else is in that?
I'm not going to open it up in front of him. Hell no,
Okay.
I'm not.
Um,
I'll just add this to my.
with
my
the perception
favorite
check that you notice, there are 2 other scrolls within the box as well.
I'm going to
He
wait.
closes it and puts it away.
I'm going to wait until after he's seen just how awesome Argus's spell is.
The dice were included.
He
in
starts
that
like
too.
taking off his robe.
Yeah.
You need to be naked for this, right?
No, not at all. Do you want it for your brain to be better or your fingers?
What?
To make your brain work better or your fingers?
To make my brain work better?
Yes.
That sounds so fucked up.
More clever or more.
These are the people that have actually benefited
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I let it mess with my mind.
You know what?
Using this spell, I was able to build him, and I knock on
How about-
Conk.
Oh, you read it? Look at you. You shit. You got a sponsor?
I turned down the clan.
Well, look at you. You little entrepreneur. You little shit.
They wanted to own all my stuff.
You know what I feel? That's you know that I had the same thing. I said, "Fuck you."
That's why I went on the road.
Yep. You got it. See now, this is a noble profession. Noble profession.
You know, I am so sorry. We've been extremely rude. What is your name, sir?
Oh, you want to know the old tinker's name?
Well,
It
whatever
took
name you
about
wanted.
a while to ask. Now,
I know,
didn't it?
I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
He did kind of insult
We
me. Like,
really,
immediately.
you know, people who are friends.
Luggish Bugash is my name. That's what they call me. I go by other terms like the Howl in the hill, the man on top, the lateral slanter. Well, you can ask some of the other individuals in what the towns that I visit.
Those sounds.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't.
Can I insight that?
Just read it back to me.
Lugash.
Lugash Bugash.
Lugash Bugash.
Lugash Bugash.
Bugash.
So Lugash, Lugash Bugash, Boogash, Lugash Bugash.
The Howl in the Hills. The man on top.
The man on top, the lateral slanter.
The lateral slanter. Can I insight that? Is that like.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead. You
Like,
go ahead.
is that a gnomish name and or
Go ahead. Yeah.
was he 17 on die?
Can I roll a history check to see if I know have
18
heard of this? And
Sure.
cool.
Can I roll an insight check to see if he's making up the names on the spot?
Absolutely. What'd you get first?
18.
18. That is his actual name, Lugash Bugash. he has made up the last two ones. The lateral slanter and the man on top.
The Howl in
he
the
just
Hills
made it
now.
up out himself. The Howl of Hills, you've heard of before.
Yeah,
The Howl of Hills, what'd you get in your
27.
27. Yeah, you've heard of the Howl in the Hills. The Howl in the Hills is more, but it was more of an esoteric meta term. It's just like the Howl in the Hills is a like a premonitory term of things to come.
Okay.
It's like, oh yeah, you've heard the Howl of the Hills,
Or
and
like
it's like
the
you've
wind.
heard Scuttlebug, or like Word Around Town, or like you've heard the tides are coming in. The Howl in the Hills is like a more like a cultural
Precursor term.
yeah, a precursor kind of like cultural idiomatic term for things to come. But he's telling the truth when he says it's called the Howl of the Hills. Granted, that could be said of literally any tinker.
Right.
So because they have always said to be like in your travels, if you just go one more mile over the next dune, there could be a tinker there, giving you the supplies you need to continue forward. So the Howl in the Hills is not inaccurate. What did you get?
I crit.
You crit. Okay. You get a little bit something else. You get the feeling that he literally thinks of himself as the original Howl in the Hills.
Wow.
Interesting. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, since I was about this big. And he
You're
puts his-
still that big.
Put his hand out to the side.
Yeah, it puts his hand up exactly how tall he is.
Fantastic.
So, for a while?
Yeah. Can't remember when I wasn't.
Wow.
If that means anything.
We gnomes don't live as long as the elves, but we have some life in us.
Would you say you were the first one to do this?
Oh, well, I mean, tradition goes back thousands of years, and if I'm 1,000 years, I might as well be this fucker. He points at Nitpick.
Oh, well, are you really good at it?
I'd like to think so.
Nice.
I mean, you guys did business with me, right?
Yeah.
Now, what was that thing about making my noodle and noggin a bit less clogging?
Is that the one you want?
Oh, hell yeah. You know, I always thought I might want to get into poetry, and I feel like this might help.
He can help you too.
Yeah,
You can help?
he's got some
You
nice
know, I
prose.
feel like, looking at him, I feel like we might have some creative differences.
All right. I will enhance ability on his input.
Okay. How do you go about casting the spell on this guy? You get the feeling that this guy's never had a cat spell casted on him before.
Like, this may feel a little warm, and I grab my holy
Oh
thing,
my god, that's weird.
and my fingers light up, and I will touch the side of his head.
Ooh, ooh. But he like flinches and pulls back from him, like ooh,
Ooh, ooh, it's like a hot towel. Oh. Mhm.
Really opens up the.
The sinuses, yeah.
Remember, you only have about an hour, so
Oh. Yes, I can feel myself becoming erudite.
The fuck is that, man?
He wouldn't understand.
clearer, smarter,
Yeah.
more.
I now understand the perspective of probably I might have been taking advantage of in this deal.
I think you got some great stuff for in exchange for some great.
I have the chance of a Greek. Are you okay?
Don't waste it.
So I'm totally fine.
Don't waste it.
I'm
Do your
perfectly
thing.
fine.
You're right. You're right.
Let's go, guys.
While
You got-
you're thinking clear, do you
he
wanna
opens up
try
the
and
box,
teach
he
him
pulls-
the difference between 5 and 6?
No, that's not me. That's
No.
I know. No. I'm telling
You
him.
wanna
I'm asking
teach
him
him.
if he wants to try and teach you.
Hold up 5 fingers on your hand. On one hand. Put your other hand down. Hold up the hand. Extend all the fingers. All right. Now take the other hand and point at something with one finger. That's 6. Put that one finger down.
no, that's 5 and 1.
Yes. 5 plus 1 equals 6.
No, but one's a completely different number. I'm talking about
Roll
5.
an intelligence check
Six.
for me. I love this is how you do it.
Just intelligence check.
Just straight
seeing how
intelligence
much his hour I can get into waste doing this.
11.
11. You guys beat a 10. Like, it almost as a veil is lifted off of your mind. And the shade is gone. You understand that this entity is not entirely separate from this entity. And if you put them together, they become one entity of a different value. And like, whoa, your mind expands like just a little bit more. You can go ahead and do me a favor, add 1 to your intelligence score.
Whoa.
You can now probably count to
Damn.
10 with our help.
That means I'm no longer negative on intelligence.
Yes.
Dude, congrats.
Let's leave him to his tinkering. Let
Right,
him
it's-
take advantage of the deal.
We'll come back and check on you in about an
You
hour.
get it. Like, you can now like converse like somewhat like, you know, normcore with everybody else. You get basic arithmetic as far as like multiplication might be a little much. But addition, like you get like basic. Once you start to get into 3 digits, you might be like, oh, but you're gonna have to take some time in order to like really get this. But now that you have like, this guy actually spends the entire time that he has with his intelligence teaching you how to do basic arithmetic
Aww.
rather than working on his tinkering stuff, because he's like, this young mind is so fertile and moldable. I shall live through him as like vicariously and live on.
His
in a
choice.
higher
Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll come back after an hour.
can
See
see
how the
clearly
lessons go.
now.
Yeah, the rain's gone. Yeah, and you increase your intelligence score by 1.
That's really cool.
It's been a good few days for Locke.
Yeah, it's been a really good few days. Here's the other thing. Do me a favor, roll an insight check. And this is actually, you're gonna roll it in the new thing here. This is the Terrorzine Tower. Kind of like similar to the Dimension 20's Box of Doom. Go ahead and please roll a d20 insight check into the Terrorzine Tower.
Hey, DM, where did we get that?
Terrorzine.
Where did we
We
get that?
got, oh yeah,
It's-
we got it from, I don't have the card.
Dude, it's right there.
It's right
There you
here.
go. Yeah.
We got,
Dude,
so we
where's
got
my
this Tower of Terrazine from, how do you pronounce this? Amatus Kadan. Purveyors of fine nerdery, including custom miniature painting, 3D prints and printing surfaces, fun and funky cloth masks, geek cross-stitching, and more. Check out Lindsay and Edward Mallow at amatuskadanCrafts@gmail.com or their Etsy shop at Amatuskadan, AMATUSKADAN, or amatuskadan.com, AMATUSKADAN. It was a lot of fun. We like this stuff, and we're happy to use it. Great. Go ahead and roll your insight check. That looks like a 19 to me.
I can't see past the.
That's a 6. That's a 6.
That's a 6. What do you get plus your insight?
0.
Unfortunately, it looked really good until you pull it out of.
So here's the deal.
Sushis.
You.
I started the stream way off.
We did, guys. This is. I have to pee. Oh my god. Okay, so you. It's odd. You felt as the veil has been lifted. You also. Something's different. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something is different. I don't know why. And then you kind of snap out of it and be like, "Oh shit, I'm learning. Yeah, I have to pay attention." Great. He goes and does that. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Does anybody need like general goods of any kind? There was like a more of a general booth.
Yeah,
We did buy some
like I said, all of these vendors kind of combined create a general goods store. He just had a lot of that like
Interesting
paper,
stuff. Yeah.
interesting stuff like knickknacks. And
I mean, how far do you think it is from here to your hometown again? Like 3 days, something like that?
I don't remember what it is. How far are we at? Out from.
You're at the junction. So right, I believe I told you before how many days it would take to get from the junction to Minheim. If you don't have that written down, I think I have that in my notes. Let me just check.
Well, I thought it was.
Not days of
All
travel.
that I have written down is the 8.5 days to get to the junction.
The junction.
It's a few days or something. I thought after that.
Yeah, I thought it was really quick, but relatively so.
compared to.
Not a whole nother week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, give me one moment to do my little slide rule, please.
Well, you do that. Because if it's going to be a couple of days, we might as well get some nice, like, beef jerky or something like that we can eat on the road.
I was
Not that huge
definitely.
chunk of meat.
But we just a moment
I don't know
ago.
how much of it we ate.
If we get some mushrooms and some other vegetables, I can make a really good stew
Oh, really?
that'll knock your socks off. It's mom's recipe, but
Oh, Mama's recipes are always the best.
I'll do my best with
Okay.
it.
It's actually about the same.
It's another 8 days.
I believe in that. I will do. 'Cause it's off because remember Minheim has to go out of the mountain range and
Yeah.
half of it's out in the overworld and half of it's
So you have to go like all the way to the foothills, essentially. Like you have to go
Yeah.
to the edge of the mountain
On
range
the
to get
western
there.
side.
let me double check.
We met the guy in the middle here,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be.
All right, so about 8 days, a little over a week. Get some stuff, and like you said, curious to try your mom's stew. Let's get the ship. I'm more than happy to put forth the coin for that.
Sorry, I know you guys probably see my face right up against the screen. I apologize. I'm just making the measurements. 68.
It's been
Let's say it's another about 300 miles. And since you are, yeah,
Is there any animals here that we could?
yeah, the mountain range is fucking huge, guys. Like we're like this is it
Is there any wagons or mountain lights?
twice the size of the Rocky Mountain.
Hey. Is there any groups heading back to Minheim that we could maybe hitch a ride with?
Possibly. Would you like to look for them?
Yes.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and roll an investigation check, and I'm going to say that's like you kind of asking around, trying to find.
So
You
was
can get an advantage on this because this is
previous
your job. Give me 1 minute to look up. Walking. Are you? Here we go. Travel distance. So at a normal pace, you guys move 24 miles a day.
It's 12 days.
Yeah.
If you're saying
Roughly.
300 miles.
Yeah, Karadim was actually not as much.
regular foodstuffs for Trishani then.
Yeah, Karadim is actually closer to the junction than Minheim is.
Okay.
So that's like I think 11 days would do you good. I think is what from what I'm seeing here. 11 days seems about.
I got a 10 on my investigation. With
A 10 with advantage. Here's the deal. There are a few. None of them meet your standards. But that's still with the addition of your group, they could possibly meet your standards but then you would make up like 95% of the force of the group. You do see an opportunity here, however, that you could possibly charge these people to hire you as escorts because of that. Granted, you also notice that these people don't have a whole.
Maybe they could at
It's
least
just why they're traveling the way they are.
maybe they could at least just pay us in kind of like food, like what you've described before, Cole, of you like playing for your meal at night, right? Like maybe we can do something like that in a little bit of gold or something. Maybe
Yeah,
the full.
I mean, that's how I got to Tule in the first place. I worked my way across the northern part of the country, working with wagon trains, selling goods, setting up carts, doing that sort of thing. That paid my room and board and allowed me to travel with them because I didn't leave home with much.
Right. I mean, what do you guys think? Is
I
that
mean, I just want to go faster. Is what, you know.
Yeah, if we can get on a wagon, it perhaps will.
expedite?
Yeah.
I mean, with the right group, they could go faster with us too because we're
That's
there
true.
to help protect them.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's probably no one else in these tunnels that can say they defeated a worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we have the evidence to prove so. So
Because you have another tooth, right? Well, we have the sheets of the
Yeah.
scales, so you don't just find that every
Would-
day.
But because of like what you guys were talking with, it's pretty well known that people who defeat worms probably harvest a lot of the worms stuff and everything like that. Is that something we want to be bragging about around town,
No,
around the area, especially when we're about to go into the wilds with people?
for a merchant caravan, if we're strong enough to kill the worm, we're probably
Right.
too strong for them to
Take advantage.
take
of.
advantage of us.
Yeah.
Unless they're looking for targets, yeah. You know, it's less likely to happen than other things.
We'll always keep our normal watch, I think, regardless. I think it's always probably a good idea to do that. I'll continue to have some words with Shakar so we
And I
understand.
find just general
No
goods.
threat.
Do you want me to go through all of them with you? Just like
Just do me a favor, roll an investigation check.
Is there any coffee here?
Good question. Another investigation check.
I'll help you because you got me hooked, man. It was really good.
Absolutely.
It's been
14.
really nice to have.
You can have advantage with that.
Yeah.
29.
29. Couple of things. We'll do him first and I'll do you guys. You are able to find very limited. You guys maybe have like the bags that you buy at the grocery store that are
Like
about
a
this
pound.
big. That's about as much as you can find here. It is 10 gold worth of coffee.
Okay.
Because coffee is expensive.
I will still buy it.
Coffee comes from like the tropic regions all the way back into the Luamban Peninsula. And although there is a direct trade route from there to here, that's a lot of miles to cover.
There was a direct
There was. There's no longer. Yeah. Yeah. That's big problem. That pretty much cuts off the entire southern area and all of the trade from the Roman Dominion from getting to here, unless they go all the way around to Minheim. That could cost potentially like hundreds of thousands of gold worth of trade.
I mean, if we could find some things here that we could sell in Minheim for a little higher, we could make a tidy little profit.
Possible, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to spend that 10 gold,
I
you
did.
can. Okay. 29.
29.
Couple things you notice. Yes, for all intents and purposes, you can buy pretty much anything that's going to be in the PHB here.
That's
However, with the exception of weapons and armor.
Yeah.
We steal enough of
That is.
It was more of the stuff I got at the adventurer shop, the blind guy shop back in town.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's more just like player's handbook, adventure goods. Just wanted to restock some of the stuff we used.
Yeah.
Lofar's Traveler's Thrift. Yeah.
Low cask hide.
Just like another bucket, some chalk, like just general.
Yeah, you can get that stuff. No
Something
problem.
wrong with your old buddy?
I would say just to save me some mental aggravation, just use the prices of whatever they are
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the player's handbook, and
Yep.
then subtract that from your thing.
Same with
I
Phil.
think we need to get a new crowbar for everyone.
Does everyone have a crowbar?
I have a crow. No,
No,
wait.
no, I want a special crowbar for everyone.
A commemorative crowbar.
You have a
there is
crowbar?
no blacksmith here, so in order to get things forged or changed,
Who,
you
Could
will-
you-
who doesn't
Right,
have a crowbar?
But we're going someplace
I
where
don't
I could
think I
gild
have a
crowbars
crowbar.
in silver.
Could your
No,
mom-
I
know
don't
what
have a
True.
crowbar.
We might
You
wanna
could
look
also
into
get
buying, like, a
crowbars
bunch
there.
of extra
That's
early,
true.
too.
We can wait.
could your mom make us like special
You
coal?
probably, Mom already has probably quite a collection of crowbars as well.
So are we waiting on the crowbar?
Yeah,
No.
we'll wait on the crowbar.
We'll wait.
Okay. I
Unless-
feel a little left out, but
Do you
that's
not
okay.
have one?
Oh, buddy.
No, it's okay.
If you don't have one,
I don't
I mean,
have
you
one.
got- you got to have
Believe me, it
But I'm
does-
also
it does
poor,
make me
so
feel a
I
little
can't
left
afford
out,
one.
Sokka. I feel for you.
I mean, I would put the 150. I put some of the money from the very special sands that I had spilled. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want the crowbar? I mean, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. How much is a crowbar?
Should be in the book.
It is.
You guys can also buy. You guys can buy adventure packs here too, like Dungeoneers pack, Explorers packs,
Right.
those kind of things too.
I just
for
want
the
a
gold value
crowbar.
that they have in the book.
Do you
It's 2 gold.
2 gold? Fuck yeah!
If
You
you're
get a crowbar.
just getting the crowbar.
Beautiful.
You can get that stuff here.
Do you also?
This space is meant to be like a way station for those that need to restock before they continue the journey. Because this is like I said, this is about more than a week's journey from Minheim. They put these way stations and junctions at the intersection points between this place, because although there are quite a bit of cities and towns throughout the Razorfang mountain range, it is still really spread out. And most of the cities and towns are set up in areas that have a certain resource that either you can't get somewhere else, or it has a high concentration of that resource, which is why people set up, or it has access to certain like water and other like amenities, just like you would setting up a town above world, except this is below world. So it's a little bit more kind of like dark and dreary travel, but there's still, guys, from this junction to Fersbeck, just to the next junction, it's like another 2 weeks. There's
buy a Dungeoneer's pack while we're here.
okay, go ahead.
Just specialty, like they're on that list, but more rare, like lamp oil. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
A mirror.
Lamp oil, yes. A mirror. Well, you got a 29, right?
Yeah.
You can find a broken shard of a mirror, but they'll charge you as much as they would a full mirror.
Okay.
Is that something you'd want? Because it's a specialized glass that uses certain materials and then forged and heated in a certain way.
That
and
is
then have
reflective.
tempered.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have reflective.
Clear
properties.
enough to be perfectly
Yeah.
reflective.
Usually, people that don't have that have mirrors are the wealthy. That's it.
It's more like polished metal is like the lower.
Yeah,
common.
like the closest thing you guys have to a mirror is the Targe of Heroic Tales, and it is reflective. It's kind of chrome, but it's not that.
We
I
said
do
that we
have a
have them
steel
in
mirror.
disguise kits. Would have them. You said before.
the little
disguise
contacts.
Like yes, but they're like
It's
those
like
really
compact.
fucked up tarnished mirrors, and they're warped. They're all fucked up. It's not. It's nowhere near a perfect reflection.
There's-
I actually have a steel mirror from my what's it called? The
Your background.
Yeah.
Your background. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's small and it's made of steel, not like mirror glass.
Right.
Or whatever a mirror is.
Then yes, I would take it.
Yeah.
What is it? A mirror? I think is made out of carbon and glass or something like that.
It's usually like the old ones were like silver
Silver
backed.
right.
You took optically clear glass and coated the back with silver
Right.
so that it reflected back on you.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want it?
Yes.
I mean,
If I found like an actual shard of a mirror,
You can
I'd
find a
still-
shard of a mirror, but
I'd
it
still get
appears
it.
to be made of the same material that yours is made out
Yeah.
of. It's not one of the
Oh.
good. It's not one of the good silverback glass ones. Those guys, rich people have that shit because only because they're the vain ones and they're the ones with the money.
Gotta
A
see my
mirror
beautiful
in the
face.
book is listed as 5 gold.
For real?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that. Well, 5 gold is reasonably expensive.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking.
I'll
Like
charge you 5 gold. For
I
the
was
shard.
asking like the big dollar amount stuff because I wanted to make sure you.
Yeah, you can pay.
They
You
were
can
huge.
buy this shard for 5.
Okay, and it's like a chunk of one of those mirrors
big.
that like broke off.
It's this big and
That's
this kind of shape, but kind of like diamond-like shape.
Okay. So do you need mine anymore, or are you okay? Does that serve suit your purpose?
I'm
You
just.
good?
This is more just like in case.
Okay.
Something that that might like a prisoner might use while in a jail cell trying to look through a like down the hall. That
Yeah.
kind of, that's the kind of mirror this is. That's the quality.
Just like a
mirror.
small little handheld, enough to.
It's not circular. It's
see.
like jagged and all fucked up.
Right.
It could double as a shiv and
I don't
it's got the
know.
blood stains
I'm
on the
just.
side.
I'm looking for things that can help us in. We get into some weird situations.
We do. You're right.
So, like, I'm looking for things that can help us that we wouldn't otherwise have,
Okay.
which is why I'm picking this up.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because there's creatures in the world that like light and vision and mirrors and reflections and
Shiny things. Yeah.
shiny things.
Yeah.
So, just in case, I want to have it on us. I have the bag. I can carry it. It's not a problem. I'd rather have it than not.
Right. Were you in a scouting troop before too?
No.
I mean, I was one of. Oh, okay.
I just read a lot of, let's say, less truthful tales than reality.
Ah, I see. Okay. Is there any places that are selling like incense, magical components?
Is he okay?
He's laughing.
Or
I thought he farted.
I thought I heard one earlier, but
that might have been
A healer's kit, like a legitimate healer's kit.
a healer's kit. Unfortunately, there are no alchemists.
Okay.
There's like you get some basic stuff.
Yeah, that's
bandages.
I'm going through like the high dollar value
Yeah.
stuff and making sure that I don't just add it and you're like, oh, they wouldn't.
You,
have that,
you could
so.
get a couple components of a healer's
Yeah,
kit,
no,
here,
that's
but
fine.
not a full healer's.
That's fine.
Here's the deal. In order to use a healer's kit properly, you do have to be proficient in stuff like that. I believe. If I'm not
It's a
mistaken.
tool,
It is a right, and you
so I can use it.
so you can use it. That is true. Yes.
Artificer shenanigans. Yay.
Artificers are pretty fucking cool. They just have a lot of shit going on, so you gotta
Right.
be on top of it.
And that's I put it on my shopping list just in case we ever run across it. So
I
I'm
love
covering.
how our D&D shopping lists are better than our real life shopping lists. Be like, popcorn, bread, I guess. I don't know, do we need milk? Do we need milk? You call your wife at home. Do we need milk? Well, I totally forgot. Chicken nuggets? You want
ours
frozen
is a
chicken
little
nuggets?
chunky, so yeah, grab a
Noel
gallon.
gets so mad at me when I do that. I'm shopping and I call her or text her like, do we need this? Do we need this? Do we need this? And like, you should have
Okay.
checked before you got. I checked as much as I could. I'm sorry. I'm working. Stop interrupting me. Like, but fucking our D&D shopping list, I've got everything.
So, I
pretty
mean,
bad.
Just a heads up, I'm spending 7-ish gold between the 5 for the mirror, 1 for lamp oil flasks,
Mhm.
and just other general stuff.
Yeah.
I was spending about 7.
No problem.
7
And,
gold.
and if I ever be like, hey, do you have that? You say, oh, I spent it when I bought stuff at the junction.
Yep.
No problem. Yeah. Do my best not to be too much of a pain in the ass.
I mean, it's just I'm buying a couple sticks of chalk, another bucket, a blanket, just
Yeah.
replacing
and
the
cool thing is
things.
that with the bag of holding, you don't have a problem
Right.
with carrying this stuff.
Yep.
Granted, the bag of holding is slowly filling up.
Another
fact
bar of soap, a
Yeah,
bag
these
of
are small
salt.
things.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Right.
But
If I
like,
buy something huge,
you're
that'll
gonna,
be different.
you're gonna start having issues. Or like one more like rather large thing, you should be okay. But remember, you have a body in there.
Yes.
You have a body in there, I believe, as well as another very large thing. I can't remember exactly quite what it is.
No, we took that out.
You took that
Yeah.
out. Okay.
No, yeah, we.
What was it?
Because we used to have 2 bodies in there. But
Yeah, I had another body in there.
That was
And that was
full dead.
that was when you were saying like you're about full on your back.
Right. Yeah.
But we took that out.
That's when we had, I think, Eleazar in there or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Eleazar just had so much armor on him that he
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
up a lot of room.
Yep.
So there's absolutely no way you could fit a large creature in here.
No.
You could fit another medium,
Yes.
maybe 2 medium creatures in here if you want to get cramped. Like a few of you could possibly pop into here, but you're gonna run out of air real fast, and it's gonna be really cramped.
no more nitpick in there.
Yeah, I mean, he only took up like this big.
I'm just glad that I finally have like the same amount of like actual, real, useful adventuring gear that you guys all had when we started this adventure.
It's coming handy.
Hey, Log, come here. I want to look at your eye.
Okay, there's still shit in there, but I mean,
Okay.
Arcane, I mean.
I want to.
Shit in your eye?
Are we still there?
I mean, it's been, you guys have been doing this for an hour. You're like just wrapping up with him.
You're still learning.
Oh, no, that's where I keep my
Oh shit, that's really smart. Maybe I'll gouge one of my eyes out. Just fucking no, I won't do that.
yeah, you know, do you have anything else you haven't been able to open that you want to know what's inside? You haven't been able to open yet? I can tell you what's inside it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about this
Don't do
lead
it for
box?
free. Don't do it for free.
How
Yeah.
about this one lead box?
Okay.
Can't see through a thin sheet of lead.
No, I can see through
I believe it says
30. It's 30 feet of any solid object.
any solid, even lead.
The invocation, yeah, it's fucked. It's 30 feet of
What is it
solid
called again?
objects.
A ghostly gaze.
Ghostly gaze.
gaze. I thought it was limited to the same things like message is limited to.
You can see through 30 feet of solid objects.
Log has
That
become
is
the
so-
All Father.
Well, he can't see the future. But maybe
yet.
he can.
Yeah.
Not yet. I get foresight eventually.
Yes. Yeah, and then you help.
Shit.
You're working. On, you're working on augury as well.
You can only see it imperfectly. So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You perceive ghost objects as ghostly, transparent images.
For 30 feet.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I just
Alright.
realized we could teach Log to actually read now.
Oh my god.
Yes. Well, I mean, I have comprehend languages, so I'd be able to
Mm-hmm.
figure it out regardless. But
Yep. So yeah, you can see into it. It looks like
well, no, yeah, I was gonna barter before I actually did it.
okay. Well, he pulls out the box, and you can straight up see into it because it's active all the time, right?
No, so because I could only ask for a minute.
I understand.
Once per
And you
rest.
want per rest. Okay. So he
So-
pulls out this cube box that appears to have a very strong, like reinforced steel lock on it.
So the other papers that were in that other box, for those, I'll tell you what's in that box.
You want more paper?
I mean, what are you gonna do with it?
You're giving me PTSD.
You just taught me. Don't you want me to be able to read and absorb this, use this new information? And what are you giving me?
Yes, my mind to your mind. Roll a persuasion check.
It's fantastic.
Ooh, persuasion. Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Takes the other like long metal box that's all super rusted and puts it on the table. Slides it forward. And it says,
If you tell me what's in the box and your new fancy, very offensive lawn ornament can open it, you can just have that box.
The box or what's inside?
Well,
And
yeah.
everything that's inside. Yeah, nice catch. Nice catch. Nice catch.
Looking
You're
out.
not here. You're off buying things.
If the hour's over and our shopping's done, I was gonna come
no,
back.
you're
anyways.
doing your shopping
Okay.
during this. This is wrapping up the very end of the hour. All you guys are doing the shit that you wanted to do while this is happening. This is just between logging in. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. He's gonna pull Nitpick out, and Nitpick still got the cork. You see him cross his arms, like you hear like the porcelain and stone rub up against each other as he does it. He's like, "Go on, get. Go do it." And he looks up.
I don't need to hear you talk. I just need you to open the goddamn lock. You don't do it, I'm gonna start putting you on hot coals. You think that would be nice? He's not doing what you said he was. He's not doing what you said he was gonna do.
He operates better when he can insult you.
Well, shit, that makes him a lot less useful. If I open that cork from your mouth, you better fucking do it. You won't have a problem. I'm telling you, you won't see the light of anything for a whole month. I'll keep you blindfolded. How do you like that?
He's gonna roll an intimidation check. He didn't do very well.
Mistake.
Pulls out the cork like
Try it, you fuck.
well, goddamn it! It takes like what looks like a rod of iron and spanks him on the butt. You see a chip fly off from his butt cheek.
He's already been cracked a couple times.
He's like, don't make me break you and put you back together.
That's good. He's gonna roll an intimidation check at advantage for that one. Still not great. Nitpick starts to run away.
But he can't do it very fast, right?
No, he's like his movement of speed is 5.
I just mage hand to back up and just
Pick him up. He's like, no,
Let me go! You piece of shit. You ugly, smelly fuck. That I used to look like so many other people. You should know that who you are is beautiful.
you should just know when to shut up. And I drop him.
That's fair.
No, drop him back in front of the box.
he's gonna try to run away again.
Shake him up again.
So this goes on for about like the next 5 to 10 minutes. He's like,
He's like, this is kind of entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. But unless he does what he's supposed to do, this is no deal.
I'm gonna telepath to Nitpick. Do it or I'll just fucking rip your hand off.
full intimidation check.
No advantage?
He has been picking it up and putting him down.
That's true, and it was telepathically. We're not counting him as a creature, but fuck it. Yeah, go ahead.
Damn. Doubles again.
So
Double ones?
No, the double 8s. It's for a total of 13.
13. He is nonplussed.
I mean, I did threaten to do it.
Are you going to break this tinker's object that it is now his?
I'm just going to flick him in the forehead.
Okay.
Your intelligence now.
Yep.
Better decisions.
Well, if he ain't gonna unlock it, I suppose I've got nothing but to suffocate him. I don't breathe, you fuck. Well,
It'll still be satisfying.
I've always been looking for something new to wipe my butt with. I ran out of cloth a while back, and my hand doesn't work well as it used to.
Porcelain's nice and smooth, right?
Oh, yes, it is.
You got that pointy hat, just right up in there.
Dig.
So he rolled natural 20 on his intelligence check. He's like, Nitpick's like, you wouldn't. Oh, I would. You would. Dare.
It's like, try me, you fucking shit. You won't be as cocky as once you're covered in my poo-poo butter.
And Nitpick just like hunches over and just almost like half crying goes to the log.
Oh no.
Buddy.
Do I hate it?
Hey,
He looked
hey,
at the
hey,
log
hey.
and said,
You did this to me.
You did it to yourself.
I don't actually feel that bad for him. He's been a jerk.
so he
I
rolled
would
a
feel
natural
bad
one
for
on
him.
his lock picking check.
Oh
If you
no.
would have actually opened the other
He breaks his lock picking tools. What was the last ones I had?
You should have done better.
No. Please, no. No. What are the rest of you guys doing while this is happening?
We're not
I
there.
thought we weren't there.
Yeah. No, I know you're not there, but you're like, this is starting to wrap up now.
Just-
The spell is starting to fade. This year's starting to wrap up. So
I was curious if we were able to find somebody that had like more incense or magical spell components and things like that, or would this be the
this
guy?
would be the guy.
Okay.
Does
cool.
Fair
We'll
Spec-
wait for that.
The road to Fair Spec,
Fair Spec,
is this also like the same intersection?
No, you have to go up north to another intersection.
Fair Spec is further than Minot.
Further than yes.
Okay.
Further north and then off to the west again.
Is there anyone from Fair Spec coming down to Minot, coming through here? Like, can I
Since
find
you've been
some-
here, yeah, the northern
lodestone?
gate has opened. Whether they're coming from Fair Spec or any other settlement from the north, you don't know. But
Are they carrying any lodestones?
that is not something you'd be able to tell by looking. Lodestones aren't things. Lodestones are also not like a regulated thing, but they're expensive.
Okay.
This is something
Like gemstones. They wouldn't just be like setting them out on
No.
on a table to trade.
They would be in crates or barrels. It's not something that you'll be able to see just by looking.
With my
You could locate object on them.
with my investigation from before, looking for shops, it was like a 29.
Yeah, but that was for looking for shops.
Right.
What was
A
your-
trader that would sell some lodestones.
Again, the guy that probably would be selling lodestones if you had them would be this guy.
Okay.
Nugesh Bugesh.
Okay.
Okay. So y'all are finishing up. What are you doing?
We found a caravan, right? We found the coffee. We found random knickknacks
We
and
haven't
things.
talked to the caravan.
Also, I'm sorry, with that investigation check, you also, again, you and Cole noticed the Vardo that's here. Like the performers traveling, like bards that are here. Yes.
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. What, you raising your hand? And there appears to also be kind of like a tent town area. Like there's a good amount of space here. It's quite big. It's quite large. There's a space where the people that are traveling that are just kind of chilling out. There's no buildings specifically other than the guard towers here. It's just a courtyard that just gets filled with people. People start building things and
Cole,
so,
do you want to go check out the other entertainers?
I mean, we can go check them out again. See if maybe They might not be a bad one, depending on if they're going to Minheim. We might be able to travel with them too.
That's true. That's a very good point. And they'd certainly be more entertaining company than a lot of the other folks would be.
I'm so sorry, I missed one thing. With that, because you rolled 29, you do notice that there are about 2 large wagons with very heavy barrels and crates in them. Don't know what's inside.
Okay.
That are coming from the
North.
no, they're coming from Minheim itself.
Oh, okay. Coming out.
Yeah, coming into the junction, possibly going north afterward.
Is there any markings or anything on it that I would recognize?
More investigation.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. These have. This is the mark of Feldspark. There is like a brand on the barrels that has the mark of Feldspark. Roll a history check for me. And then roll a perception check.
17 for history.
Okay.
What'd you say, perception?
Yes. 12. You smell something familiar, but you don't know what it is. You know that Feldspark is most of the time in charge of like the tinkering deals. Tokrin is the bank; they have all the money.
Yep.
Godamir does like the crafting services and the mining, whereas Feldspark kind of like again these are very loose orientations of what these clans do. They've just kind of been associated to them not unofficially, just because that's just what they sometimes end up dealing with because that's kind of what they specialize in, but it's very, very unofficial.
Godamir, like the stereotypical gnomish crafters,
Working
miners.
class miners, dwarvish like craftsmen, yes. that kind of
Feldspark are
thing.
the stereotypical tinker gnome little inventors.
Yep. Whereas and then Tokrin just has all the
The
fucking
money.
money. And they have a shit ton.
They have the
Because
gold
they can
mines.
make their own fucking money because they're constantly mining it, and they have Tokrin's trust branches all over the continent. And this has been a thing ever since like after the war. Tokrin's like really like so much so that the Razorfang agreement is by and large and by far the richest one in the known world. Because of this.
You have all the gold.
Because they have all the money. Granted, like there's a lot of confrontation with that because like people say that the old elvish houses have like lavish lands that are supposed to be theirs or that bequeathed theirs, blah 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 blah. So it's a little complicated. But as far as liquid gold, like liquidation, they've got all of it. This has Feldsparks on it. One thing you know about Feldspark is like Feldspark. Okay, yeah, Feldspark transports tech, stuff to make tech, new inventions, new things that come out, new paradigms of that kind of thing. And you just smell something familiar, but you don't know what it is. These all look like very heavy barrels, heavy crates, and they appear to be coming from either Minheim or some other place, like some other mine that was coming from the west. Maybe it was a mine that was coming from like that went into the mountainside from the overworld and then went around, rather than going into the mountain range, went around and then through Minheim, or that came from any of the other overworld areas to the west.
Remembering Martana's shipment. right?
You're not there.
No,
I was the one that saw it. I
we-
pointed it out to
the
him.
5 of us.
Oh,
were there.
that's true. That's very true. Yes.
Knowing,
And that's
seeing
what I was like,
Martana's shipment
there's Feldsparks.
way back when, is this at all similar?
Roll
Like, are these
perception.
the same containers, the same...
Yes. However, Martana's shipment did not have a brand marking.
What is that? Perception?
Perception.
Smell.
The smell?
Would the barrels that I came across and took in the past, those have a mark that I would recognize here?
Those the one that you came across when you were in Tule,
Yeah.
that I'm specifically speaking of, did have the mark of Feldspark on it, but it was it was a small cask, and it was just one. It wasn't
Right.
several.
15. For
15. You smell saltpeter, sulfur, charcoal.
It's what he smelled when I showed him my sample.
Yes.
So that's what this is.
Possibly.
Crap.
They the wagons, the caravans, the escorts are extremely nondescript. It's like that hide in plain sight kind of deal.
Yeah.
They're very good at it. And only because you guys rolled so high were you even able to notice it.
And we've seen this more than once. Like,
Yeah. But I cannot stress enough, Martana's did not have
no, but he smelled it.
things.
Right.
That's true.
And
Yes.
we matched it to my sample.
Yes, yes, of course. But most likely Martana's was
Black market.
possibly.
Okay.
Knock off.
Anyways,
Yeah, let's keep our distance from that.
There's a lot of this. There's at least 6 barrels / crates per wagon. And I'm not talking about like small casks. I'm talking like full,
barrels.
like 3 foot tall barrels. It's a lot.
I see you squirming. Boots, what's up?
Nothing at
Yeah?
all.
Okay.
We can't take it with us, so it's pointless.
Never say never.
Right. I mean,
There is quite a like there is an armed guard here. None of these appear to be official. They all appear to be mercenaries, like you once were. Nobody's wearing any official like crystal brand or guardsman outfit. They just appear to be like regular mercenaries that look like they're just trying to blend in. They would not have standed out at all if you hadn't rolled so high. And they don't stand out. They blend in really, really well. It just looks like a well-guarded caravan, and that's about it.
You remember how your sister's friends said they had a whole lot of a certain substance?
Yeah, the black powder. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
They have
That's a lot.
wagons full over there.
Mm-hmm.
Between all of this, it looks like more than 1 metric ton.
It would be amazing to get my hands on some, but
I mean,
Could we sneak a hole in?
either that or could we do it above board? And see if they're
no,
aware?
no.
Certainly try.
Even if you could convince them to sell it to you, it would be worth
You
more than
won't.
we have.
It's not like you guys are very, very, very. This is a controlled substance.
It would be worth more wealth than we have on us combined to get any of it.
Which direction are they heading?
They
The
came
amount-
in from the direction of Minheim.
The amount that I took was like tiny compared to this,
Mm-hmm.
and they spent a week searching the entire college for it.
Yeah, like the cask that you had
Oh,
was
wow.
about the 16th of the size of the barrels that are here, and there are, I
Yeah,
believe,
like,
at the very least 6
There's
barrels.
no way
per-
we're going to be able to do this, or even convince them. I don't think,
Could we talk to them?
unless somebody wants to cause distraction and we try and steal some.
I mean,
That's why I said nothing. Just ignore that I saw what I saw. It's
But
Yeah,
who?
I think
Between-
we give it a wide
Real
wide
quick,
berth.
point of order. Between all of your like history checks and your insight checks and your perception checks, all signs point towards they're taking a break here and most likely headed to the centre of what would be where this would be stored or used, which is quite obviously Thulmore
Thulmore
Bay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
now that you know what they're carrying, it's not a far leap to understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and probably better not even interject in case they ideas, that kind of thing, and then later bite us in the butt.
Know what you're talking about. I see nothing. Let's go that direction. Cole just points in the opposite direction of where this stuff is.
Right, that nut vendor over there, the candy nut, sounds great. Let's go that way.
Ooh, candy nuts.
Yeah.
How much for
Nuts!
No, Log, I still want to.
You roast them, you buy them.
Fresh roasted nuts.
I want to measure your eye to see if I can get my mom to make you a cool eye patch with a holder in it.
Okay, so is that all wrapped up with
Probably.
Tinker?
Yeah, you're. Well, here's the deal. He's like, well, as he puts his whole arm on the rusted box.
Oh.
The deal still stands, but unless this guy can be persuaded to do his job, we might have a problem. Start sliding the stuff away.
You had any lockpicks you can use? He is your gnome now.
Well, I don't see why I should be supplying him with. You know, you're a very shrewd individual.
And
Why don't you give him the lockpicks? You
I
sold
don't
me a
have
defective
lockpick.
product.
I didn't sell
Do I
anything.
look
It
like
was part of
we
it.
look like dishonest people to be carrying around lockpicks? That's what we had him for.
Oh, don't try that bit old chummy chum with me, buddy. I know who adventurers are. They're very opportunistic. But your
Yeah,
comment
that's why we had him.
but your comment is noted. Here's the deal.
I might have a lockpick actually.
I didn't get lockpicks from you. I didn't. They just appeared in his hand, and you were just minus one lockpick.
Nope, I don't. Sad.
In our
Look, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. I'll just throw him in the book and give him to somebody else, and he'll become someone else's problem.
I mean, look, let's be real. How much does a lockpicking set cost? And clearly, we understand that you don't do.
I don't know. I never bought one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I feel like you're not misunderstanding the economics of traveling tinkers. We don't trade in currency. We trade in goods and barter.
I could make him some temporary lockpicks. You would still need to find your own replacement.
Yeah,
down the
whatever
road.
works. That's fine.
But for this deal, I could make it work.
Sounds fair. I'll spank him until he fucking. Look, I've had children before. I know how to deal with this little bitch. Fucking, yeah, man. I've had angsty teens and rebellious. Like, I know what to deal with it. Eventually, I'll break him just like a newfound fawn. I'll break him. It'll happen. He's just like any other wild animal.
Break him. Like, actually.
No, not physically break him. Emotionally, mentally break him.
I don't know. He seems pretty unbreakable.
Well, he's kind of honestly like we'll do some emotional therapy together, but he's got to understand that like he's not all that in a bag of chips.
He's failed quite a bit lately.
He's failed quite a bit lately.
Well,
Well, I'm glad you left that out of your,
Would you call me a true traitor if I had told you that up front?
You know what? I don't know whether to be disappointed or proud. But that's true. Listen, if you can do what you say you can do, give him some temporary tools. Great. Wonderful. Let's figure this out because honestly, I'm tired and it's time for my nap.
Right tool for the job.
You need a short rest to do that?
I need an hour
You need an hour.
to make the tools.
All right, well. Takes both the boxes and lockpicks and he puts them away. I'm going to go take a nap on my hammock. You do your thing and let me know when you're ready. What are the rest of you? So you're taking a short rest. What are the rest of you guys?
He wants to see my eye.
I want to measure his eye so I can give dimensions to my mom to make him a cool
Sure.
iPad.
Easy enough. No roll required. You can measure his eye.
Okay.
Yep.
I still have the arcane in there. Probably get that out at some point.
You do have green stuff now.
Yeah.
So you have 1 dose of green arcane. From what you understand, I'm not gonna make you roll for this. It's just super annoying for me to make you roll for this. This is black as acid. So green would be a poison. Poison magic. So rather than like lightning magic, which is the blue, and fire magic, which is the red, this would be poison magic. So most likely, when you get to that point where you have to release something, it'd be something like a cone of poison or a poison spray or something that's a higher level. Once I figure out like what level it is accurate, I believe it's like a 3rd level now that you're.
Well, so I have 3rd level spells.
Right.
Because, yeah, 'cause I think last time I did it was before we got to this level. So I was only at 2, and so that's what made it.
So it's going to be like it's good poison. It's going to be like something has to be having to do with poison. Is what is going to be expelled from your form.
If I don't die.
If you don't explode, that is, yes.
I'm more terrified of the poison than I am of Log having the other like things.
Right. Cole hates poison. We need to get you a belt dwarven kind.
just a little poison.
Miss Shenny, you have your Trish Shenny.
I know we look alike. It's okay. We're twins.
No excuse. I should know this by now. I'm disappointed. Take it.
In me or you?
Here's the
Take a
deal.
DM disadvantage, right?
I will make a deal with you. If I do that again on this session, you get a DM inspiration.
Ooh. Yeah. What's the
The other side of that coin is that. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, so the other side of that coin is that if you gain a temporary or permanent madness before the deal is null.
before you call me Miss Shenny again?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't have to be this session, if that's the case.
No. The rule is only for this session.
Okay.
We can make a different deal. This is fun. It's fun being the DM because you can just do whatever the fuck you want, right? I can be just like, yeah, let's do some meta shit, and if it involves like whatever, like.
All right, so that temporary madness will, if that happens, then you don't.
Right. If you gain a madness period
Mhm.
from the fact that you are underground,
Mhm.
before
daily.
I call you by the wrong twin name
Uh-huh.
on this session,
The deal.
which will be 3 episodes because we like to split them up, then yes, you can get a DM inspiration.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
smart money is on you calling her the wrong name again.
That's true, but now I'm gonna try extra hard.
You know,
Does that count?
it's
See, I don't know how
If
to
you
judge that,
get
because
to
does that
pedantic
mean you weren't
semantics with
trying
me,
that
we're gonna
hard
have a
before?
problem.
No, my idea is just too mean. It doesn't really.
it's kind of like
Okay, so
you were.
you have this scroll.
I do, and we don't have the other ones yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Are you examining this scroll?
Not in front of him.
You don't have to be in front of him.
Well, I want to. I was gonna do it tonight when we.
Well,
that's
he's
all.
taking a short rest, so and he's sleeping now in the hammock.
Good for him.
Well,
He's taking a
Perfect
nap.
time to
I'm
sleep.
tinkering on something. So
I am the only good character.
you.
What a shitty thing to say.
We're good.
No,
We're just
I'm the
chaotic.
one saying you're
Alignment
talking about
wise.
stealing, and I'm like, I mean to. I'm actually the only.
You're
The
the
only
only lawful
lawful
good character.
good character.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, you Argus is like we could just steal it, and you're lawful good. And you're like,
Man, what is
Okay.
my alignment?
yeah, it's very loose guidelines.
I would argue I'm like chaotic neutral.
I'm
at
lawful
best.
neutral.
Yeah, it again, when we built our characters, it's more of just like very, very, very loose guidelines as to what you envisioned your character to be. I believe there are some spells that specifically say, "Hey, what is your alignment?" because they affect certain things
Not
differently.
anymore. They took it out.
Oh, they took them out.
5th edition doesn't have anything.
Oh,
No, they do actually. There are
items.
two.
There's items.
there's items,
that are
yes,
alignment
items.
specific, but there's no more.
It's not. I'm not talking
Spells
about
or-
prerequisites. I'm talking about like, hey, if
Yeah.
there are certain spells too that have to do with it's the opposite alignment, things do more. Or
Yeah.
if it's the same alignment.
No, I think there's
damage.
subclasses where if you like choose one good, you get certain spells. If you choose bad, you get
Yeah.
certain spells.
Mhm.
Evil,
Yeah,
you get.
So
certain
there's a couple
older
things.
editions, the alignment system was so rigid and so like demanding it fucking sucked.
You had to
But we digress. Moving forward.
Yeah.
If he's asleep and he seems fully asleep, I'll still turn my back to him and I'll
Go ahead and roll an Arcana
I'll
check.
take a
Examine
look.
this
I
scroll.
will eventually cast Identify as well. If
Um,
that's any help.
So here's the deal. You can, or you can just curse. So here's the thing. You could take the 10 minutes to do it, or you could just roll an Arcana check and take a little bit of time.
Okay.
Depending on how well you roll an Arcana check will depend on whether you need
Want
to do it.
Yeah. All right. I'll just kind of look over my shoulder carefully. Start opening it up. It's cocked. It's great, but it's 17.
17. This is a scroll of haste.
I love you.
Not only that, not only that, this page looks like it was torn from its spellbook.
Okay. Do I recognize the
Along one side, you see the tear markings.
Okay. I don't recognize the handwriting, do I?
Like I said, it was like it's an old form of dialect of common
Right.
that appears to have originated from primordial at some point, but like very, 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 very slight nuances that give you evidence to that effect.
Okay. Definitely tucking that away for later. Just
Tuck that into your spell book and just.
just you go in there. Shh. Yeah. So I'll just tuck it away for later for me to try to transcribe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Once
Let
we're
me provide you with
Yeah.
said scroll.
well,
Moment.
I haven't fully copied it yet.
Of course,
so
of
do-
course, of course.
But you have the scroll.
I do. Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
It's a
I'm
matter
the
of
money.
me.
Damn it.
It's a matter of me contorting myself to get to the spot where I'm having help.
Mhm. I would be so sad. I would be so sad if that one burned up, guys.
I do like that whole dynamic that you guys have figured out of the paradigm of Argus being like, you're gonna do some scrolls, enhance them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna help you focus
That's
as much
you
as we
casted
can.
that spell more than you casted Fireball,
Yeah.
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 which is surprising.
Because he has like 2 people in his group that like really, really need it.
Bigger question.
3
Have
people.
I casted Fireball more than I've healed some?
Probably.
No,
Mm-mm.
because you didn't get Fireball until more recently.
Since you've gotten
How about if you had
Fireball.
Firebolt
He was
and
still
Fireball
using
together?
his fire
I still
spells more
heal.
than his healing spells.
I still heal.
I
It's just
heal.
not in combat.
Yeah.
Like the joints, focusing on that. I'll show it to Cole. Can you see that?
Oh, that is awesome. I will take a much better look at it the next time I'm there.
All right.
I can't tell with the light there. That didn't really like.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's this nifty little piece of paper with a person running on it with like a dagger.
Oh yeah,
You could start
It
talking
looks
and holding it out.
really,
Yeah.
really cool. It just
Oh,
Shout out to Arcane Scrollworks. They make some really, really cool stuff. They provide quite a bit of inspiration. for this.
beautiful.
You don't have to. No, that's for
La, la, la.
us. It's our secret.
Okay, our secret? It's my secret scroll? Okay.
No.
All right, I'm going to just still put this.
In your book, even though it's not in your book.
I'll put it like off to the back. Okay, so this is actually. I'm speaking quietly because I don't want to wake him up, but we really need to get our hands on the other ones. This is some good magic.
Gonna have to trade him.
Are there any thieves' tools? Like, would I find thieves' tools for sale? Because I have proficiency.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, great.
See if you can find a
A sus
individual that
looking
might
merchant.
send some seedy.
Nope.
It's just Zemdek and Sokka. Or you have it too as well, yeah.
I have
Do you
expertise.
have it set on you?
No, I don't.
There you go.
We should get
Um, That was a 6.
The 6. You walk up to a dude that you think looks seedy.
Oh no.
You're like, what do you say to him? As if you're.
Oh hey, what do you sell here? Maybe some stuff to get into some trouble.
Scabs.
What?
One was freshly peeled, only 10 minutes old.
Okay.
Got scabs. Want some scabs?
I'm good, thank you though.
Want to see what's inside the scabs?
No.
They're scabs.
Okay. Sokka has a panic attack.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, okay, fine.
You know, an hour ago that I would have been more intrigued by this, but now I'm just kind of not.
Weird.
What are you doing for the hour that he's sleeping?
Also, I was getting my eye examined.
Mhm.
Uh,
You have these skin vellums too.
yes.
Just imagine your arm like a shredder. You
Yeah.
just like.
The question is, do I save shipper? Do I try and save them for doing spell stuff on?
Maybe.
Is
I'm
it-
imagining his book getting a taste for whatever's flesh it is too.
I mean, does it look like it holds spells?
It's pretty good quality vellum.
I think so.
Okay.
So maybe we'll hold on these for that when we have a little more time. So,
Yeah, we can use that instead. And do some cool stuff.
Nature spells. I'm wondering. Like, do you have any rituals that you could teach him?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think all the rituals I have are the same as you guys.
I just mean like maybe like hide would be a better
Yeah, maybe.
receiver.
Well, I have animal messenger, beast sense, which you might already have, speak with animals,
I think those are all ones that we don't have.
Basic
Yeah.
truths.
locate animals or plants.
Like that kind of stuff may be
Don't have
better to
Those are the
go.
ones you have prepared.
No, these are just spells I have. I can
Ritual.
prepare that are ritual.
Those might
Yeah. Okay.
transfer better to like vellum than they would
Okay.
paper.
Yeah, maybe. I can prepare them.
It's more natural in my
Nature.
mind.
Dead animals.
Could be wrong.
I want to speak with you now.
Obviously, you did get or I guess
Dead trees
you
versus
have
dead animals,
The
so
draconic
fair point.
bonus, the draconic bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would have given you the.
Or when I learned.
You guys wrote all this stuff down, right? Does
Yeah.
everybody have this in their inventory?
Yep.
I bought a crowbar. You bought a crowbar.
Well, my
Oh,
super special
So-
sand.
I'm going to
Crowbar.
do something
we all
crazy.
have crowbars now.
I'm going to take out my doll now, knowing that it has soul related to it,
Whoa.
and I'm going to set him down and take out my hammer, and I'm going to start arguing with my little doll.
like
to try to-
Trashetti does.
yeah.
Ooh, I caught myself.
To try to
So close.
see if I can understand more of a soul, how it comes, how a soul goes in, how a soul goes out, what,
Like how this battery
why
gets
it's
charged.
reacting.
Okay, cool. Like how this storage unit. You got it. How exactly are you going about this?
I mean, I'm holding my hammer
Mhm.
and I'm setting up a prayer
Okay, a prayer.
and being like,
You're
"Kasu,
arguing with the dog.
guide me in."
What argument are you saying specifically? Because remember, her magic comes from, which is kind of the same thing. Magic comes from the fact that she convinces the universe to bend to her whim through arguments and like doing a compelling argument, and just those compelling arguments are enhanced by the fact that she has an affinity with the arcane, whereas yours is begging your deity to bestow said power upon you. So I assume you're like taking a bit of a page out of her book and
Yes.
kind of combining it with her
Yes.
book. You'd be like copy
Because I've
paste.
watched her do it so much, and I'm like,
Cool. So
I have
here's
something here
Right.
that is soul related.
Could I try to help you with your arguments and stuff? Because I'm also proficient in religion, so it would be
True.
like more of like that scholarly kind of like researching religion and being like, oh well,
actually,
we have this.
Jesus of Nazareth didn't come
Right.
from Nazareth. Like
Right.
sure,
So
sure.
Maybe fix that little argument there and then give you notes that way.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. Normally, because this is so out of your bailiwick, I would make you make this roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because she's helping you and she has proficiency in religion, I'll let it be a straight roll. This will be. I'm gonna say, because this is how you're approaching it, and the catalyst and the battery that is the doll is associated most purely with arcane rather than religious entities. This will be an Arcana check for you, straight roll.
Okay.
It's not a super high DC. It is somewhat substantial, but it is something that once you figure out, you would get a far greater understanding as to what is going on.
Natural one.
How does this happen to you every time?
Every time I try to do something
Yeah.
that's related to
That's happened 3 times in a row when you've been
Yeah.
trying to do things.
when I try to do something cool and fun.
You look like a madman arguing with your wooden doll, and literally nothing happens. You just sit down, you set up your doll, you start praying, and then you start yelling like, "Why won't you move? How do you work?
Where is your soul?
Who do you work for?" Like, And
Dance, monkey, dance.
people just give you a wide berth, and nothing happens.
Okay, so maybe we need to work on that argument a little bit more than just yelling at it to dance.
Argus, workshop voice, please. Workshop voice.
That's where we're going to take our break, guys. We'll be back in a couple minutes. If you're watching this episodically, head over to the next episode. Thank you so much.